The views expressed in this video presentation are my opinions and not necessarily the opinions of guests and others sharing or reposting this video. The content is produced only for educational and informational purposes. Do not regard any statements in this video as a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Investing comes with risk to loss of principal. Always conduct your own research and seek guidance from a professional investment advisor. I am not a professional investment advisor. I'm Dollar Will. So what's happening, folks? Today, joining us, Matty Ghost.
Oh,
I was a little late on the trigger, bringing you into the show.
yeah, yeah.
As everybody can see, we're gonna be discussing pennies today. It says pandemic, but the stocks are not necessarily related, to the V, not necessarily, but it's what we talking about today in this time period. So we got Matty sitting out chilling on the porch, so we might hear some yard work in the background and that kind of stuff. And as long as it doesn't get too loud, we're gonna rock with it. Any chance we can get out the house, we probably should do that. And stay safe, of course.
Yeah.
So what you drinking on the porch, man?
Oh, I just got some water right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, water.
So the last time we talked was about 3 weeks ago. That was a while back. That time flies. I didn't expect that we would be this long before getting back to it. It was just other things in the market just kind of took precedent.
Yeah.
You recall any of that stuff that we discussed back then?
Yeah, we talked about Moderna, mRNA.
Okay, let me see if I can get a screen share happening. Come on. Okay. mRNA.
Yeah.
And that it's a virus thing. Whoa,
Yeah.
man. Okay, I do know it was about 3 weeks ago when we talked about it. So that would have been around. You know what? Let me. Okay, while I'm doing this, can you check on my channel to see what exact date that was?
Yeah.
It might have been around the 7th, like in like the first week or something of April.
It says 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so that would have been about here.
Yeah.
I don't even recall what we said, but this thing is looking good. And, it had a nice little run. This would at this point just eyeball. The problem with, as we discussed, and we may have mentioned it before, the problem with I'm not going to say it's a problem with pennies. Let me not put this on penny stocks. Technical analysis needs a data history, and because now there are some smaller priced stocks, and this is not a penny stock. Did this thing have a reverse or something?
No.
Okay, well
I think they just started recently. So
okay,
the biotech company.
Okay, so let me just say this is not a penny stock, obviously, based on this price. But I think we mixed the last show. We combined pennies with pandemic. I think that's what we did.
Yeah, I kind of had a mix.
Yeah, at this level of extension above, say this high, yeah, I'd be looking to get out of this for a minute, maybe get a pullback of some sort. This is pretty serious move here.
Yeah,
I'd be looking to get back in it. I've been looking to for it to pull back. We're looking at a daily chart. We're overbought. That's the thing about technical analysis. It gives you perspective, and you don't have to chase. You really
Right.
don't have to chase. I don't care how good the stock is. When you really get into this technical analysis game, you learn some strategy and some calm. You see stocks you like, you put them on a watch list, and you wait for the opportunity to get in. Everybody knows the goal is to buy low and sell high, and this would be one of the examples of a good stock. Well, at least in terms of good in terms of the way that the market is valuing, in terms of causing the price to run up, just from a chart perspective. I'm not talking from a fundamental analysis perspective. It's
Right.
got good price action. Okay, so from that alone, we could see, a natural support here, and of course it broke out above here and it started to come down a little. I don't know. That doesn't mean it's going to continue, but I'd be looking for the price to revisit, between this area and this area, somewhere in here.
Yeah.
I would, I would like it better. I would like it better here. And if we were, let's say, I like this color. If we were oversold and we were at this prior support area, one of these somewhere in here, I'd like it a whole lot better.
Right.
you know. So this would come in the category of chasing because I would like it better at 36 than 47. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's about to go down because they they put out PR out that they have the capability to put out billions of product if need be once they get confirmed for the vaccine. So that was just the hype to get people to buy in while shares are being dumped.
Wow. Let me let
That's
me let me
from a
take a look.
fundamental aspect, not technical.
Let
They
me take a
you know
look
they
at.
do PRs too. Also, as another way to lure people in.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
I already sold on your previous recommendation, so I took profits. Now I'm just on the sidelines waiting.
Oh, do you remember the price that you got out?
I sold it at 47 something. I think it was
Okay. Yeah. Not
47.
bad. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, technical analysis is not going to give you the exact top. So when people say you can't time the market, well, if they mean by that you can't pick the exact price, that's true. But if they mean that we can't get in the area at all, then they're false. Okay, you can absolutely get in the area with where the end of a run is. And there are many technical analysis is a broad category that covers many strategies. And the more the more you're able to get that probability down. Sort of like triangulate the price. Just obviously once this thing broke, well, one sign here. See, in uptrends, prices make higher highs and higher lows. That's the technical analysis 101. This candlestick here made a lower one. It was at the end of an extended move. This candlestick did got non-standard. It made a lower low. Now that doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to fall right that moment, but this was a trigger that the structure was broken, and so we see after that it never made a new high. But we'll see. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But at this level, I mean, I can even if it's got one more push above, I can miss that. It's going to
yeah,
have a pullback pretty soon.
yeah.
Pretty soon, and I say for me, I would wait for it, and it's even overbought on the weekly chart. Okay, it's the Cascade oscillator. So yeah, I would definitely wait a while on this. And what else did we discuss?
Uh, Tup
Oh
TUP.
man, yeah, I like we would discuss this Tupperware, and what attracted us to Tupperware is an oil byproduct, or made from from oil. Plastic is an oil derivative or byproduct. So if the material needed to make plastic comes from oil, and oil was trading at negative and negative numbers.
Right.
Why can't they make money? I don't see how they can't make money if oil and therefore all of the products made from oil can be produced at a profit. Since oil is so cheap, it just makes this the duh trade. Why would you
Yeah.
not? And even put a simple trend line on this one. you know So we got a low. Let's see. This low was 115, $1.15. God, okay. All you old heads, your mind is thinking about Tupperware parties. Tupperware way back. This is probably before my birth, or when I'm maybe too young to recall. Tupperware was like, I guess, like the Amway kind of thing of its day.
Yeah.
Women would have Tupperware parties and sell Tupperware. You know, I mean, because refrigerators? When did refrigerators come out? Because so at some point, once you get into refrigeration, and we develop this way of storing food and transporting it everywhere. I mean, this is this whole industrial development, maturation, and this super industrialization where you have a grocery store. In 360 degrees, you can go a few, maybe a couple miles, and hit a daggone grocery store. you know. So with
Mhm.
all that food, you need some storage, and so Tupperware is just one of those things that's never going away. So let's see, 115 was the low. This still looks good. I'm still a fan of this.
Oh, okay.
I'm still a fan. This is one. It had to prove it to me that it's gonna die. This is one I'd be trying to hold. I don't own this, um, but I need to consider it. you know, I can't think of a better looking chart that I've seen. This one, and it's sitting here on the
Mm.
threshold breaking out. And so this trend line here. This point is from January of 2018.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we got a classic ABC um, counter trend move, and we're sitting on the resistance, and we're deeply oversold. Let me go to the yeah. This thing is like just dragging along. This is begging to be purchased. It's like trying to give you the money. This thing was a $100 stock. I want everybody to remember this when you hearing the people on TV telling you buy this or that because it's cheap. Well, at the high, this thing was $97. Cheap can always get cheaper. Okay, if you keep that in mind, cheap can. So let me put it this way. At some point, this thing fell, just like the S&P 500, and then it had a nice little rebound, just like the S&P 500. And
Hmm.
right in here, I'm sure people were saying, "Buy Tupperware, it's cheap." It used to be near 100. Now it's only 75. Cheap can always get cheaper. Okay, and it is my opinion that this story will repeat itself with the S&P 500 that fell, had a rebound, and people said, "Buy it, it's cheap." Cheap will get cheaper. That's going to happen with the S&P 500 and
Mm.
down, in my view. But I like this right here. I like this, but I would keep an eye on it if it revisited. If it, of course, all bets, are off if it goes lower than this low. But I really love this right here. Let me go down to the daily. You know what? In fact, now I'm looking at this daily chart. I think I would wait because we're overbought, and
Mm.
it's likely to come back down here. So I would do that. I would wait, but this would be at the top of my watch list.
Okay.
Number one. Number one. I
I probably
like.
can get back in below 2 cents. I mean $2. I meant.
So I would say emphasize watch list. You don't. You want it to prove itself, prove that this is the bottom. So I would say, let me say also, again, this is for entertainment purposes. Don't rely on us. We just having fun right here. We don't have no responsibility for you getting in and out of these stocks. You see from the last show, that was 3 weeks ago. We ain't even come back, give you no update on it. Because we just like charting and finding opportunities, but you can't buy all the stocks. So we watching the things where our money is invested, and we're just pointing out other opportunities. So yeah, that's the you got to do your own due diligence, and you got to follow this stuff. But yeah, so right now this is a nice run up from 115 up to 339. Man, that's what's that, 200%? Yeah,
Yep.
above. Yeah, that's man, that's sweet. From March 17th, from March 17th to just yesterday or whatever. um 200%. That's incredible. So what I like about this run also in a bigger picture, the consumer staples space is one of those, and that's like the staples are things you need. The opposite of the staples is the consumer discretionary space. That's your shopping malls and your Jordans and your rims and basically stuff you don't need. Okay. It's not
Yeah.
a basic requirement. It's the spice of life, but not a requirement of life, but the staples are things you need, and Tupperware, because food storage, that's a life necessity thing. You gotta store food. You you
Mm-hmm.
you gonna there are adverse consequences if you don't have food and store it properly. So the consumer staple space was, those stocks had run up too high right along with everything else. That's a part of the reason why the market was taking such huge declines. But at some point here soon, the consumer staple space, those stocks are going to stop declining, and they're going to start going up. And this may be one of them. So uh, it's my opinion that the S&P 500 is going to, start resume its downtrend from here, and this could be one of them that initially starts going down, then stops and starts to go north. We'll
Okay.
see. We don't know until we get there, but I would say this decline from $97 down to $1.15 as a low. I, I can't see no. Yeah, that's sufficient devastation. That's what happens at the end of a wave. My other wave theory trader, at the end of a 5 count, you get devastation like that. And so we're talking about, um, it's more than 98% of the price is gone. More than 98%. So this qualifies as destruction after a wave 5. And uh, I hate to tell you this, a lot of stocks in the S&P 500 are going to look like this when it's all over. It's going to look like this destruction. We're talking, over 90% of the value gone. It's going to be some big name companies that just as well as the name Tupperware. It's going to look like this, you know.
Mm.
So what else did we discuss?
Uh, BCRX. Was it BCRX?
VCRX,
Yeah.
or B? Is it V or B?
B.
B is in boy.
Yeah.
Okay, another pharmaceutical. All right, we'll Go with the NASDAQ. I tell you, this thing been hugging this bottom for a while. I'll tell you one thing I don't like. Well, I tell you what I do and what I don't. That's a whole lot of tests of that bottom.
Mm.
There's a saying that there's no such thing as a triple bottom.
Yeah.
This thing done been down in this area 4 times. Okay. So if it ever turns south, this is something to be cautious about. But this is a trade. We're talking about just a opportunity to get in, to get some money and get out, right? We're not
Mm-hmm.
talking about marrying this stuff.
Nah.
So,
Nope.
and is this another virus thing?
Yeah. Yep.
So this low here is at 138 on November 11th, and it's 158 here. That's a good sign. That's a higher low. That's a good sign. I like this here, although it does look a little overbought. But I would get into this. And this is a weekly chart I'm looking at. I would get into this as long as if it didn't drop below this price in this particular candlestick of this week. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would get into this because it seems like it's gonna go above this high.
Okay.
I think that's a good bet that it would. And
So, do you look at the ADX and the D minus and D plus?
the accumulation distribution oscillator, not really.
Okay.
I don't look at that one, but I'm not against it. Like I said other times, that at some point there's so many tools and technical analysis that can help you, but you can end up with a chart full of stuff. So and I know that all of you in my tribe over here, I know the process you're gonna go through. You're gonna load up your page with all of these different oscillators, and that's really kind of unavoidable. At some point, you're gonna figure out the ones that you trust, because at some point you're gonna see so much
Data.
synchronicity. They're gonna all give you the signal that you're looking for at the same time, and you're gonna be like, well, why do I need 5 of them to keep telling me the same thing all the time? So you're gonna pick one, and then you'll consult a handful of others from time to time as you need them. So I've settled on the stochastic oscillator. That's the one oscillator that I load every time. And other oscillators, I'll be honest, I can go a month and never check another. I never check another oscillator. And it's honestly, since I've been on YouTube, I've been checking volume more. Because normally I don't even trade volume, but that is a common one, and it can offer some level of reassurance. But if the price is moving higher and the trend is intact, and I'm just in it for a trade, not like a long-term kind of investment, I don't even care if the volume doesn't support the price. I put my stop loss, and a stop loss is a marking that you put in your account to tell the brokerage firm, if the price drops below that point, stop me from losing money. That's what stop loss means. It's going to trigger and get you out of it. So I don't want to overthink it with too many variables. But yeah, I like this one. And as far as the volume followers go, they would like this because the volume is increasing. Okay, which suggests that it really, at a minimum, is going to this resistance. At a minimum, it's going to do that. And so to go from $4.30, that might be, what is this about? $6, $6.50. So you can make 50% easily just getting to here. Now,
Yeah,
what
that's all
is
I'm
it
trying
going to
to do.
do when it get here? It might pull back a little bit and then get a running
Mm-hmm.
start again, or it might come down here and go through this hell I was talking about. All these daggone tested it low, you know. But
Not,
given the significance of how much I vested interest in a vaccine, because this is a vaccine related stock.
yeah, they're doing clinical trials in Brazil.
Okay. Yeah, so given our interest in this, uh money may continue to pour in and push it up, you know. So even if there's no good news related to the clinical trials, just everybody having an interest in this thing, this volume increasing could hold the price. It could drop back, it could come up and hit the backboard here and fall back to this area, this whole area here, and then it could, power through. But right here, right now, I would have no problem getting in this and just seeing what happens when we get here.
Okay.
The first time, which really kind of corresponds with this big candlestick here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's what I was gonna sell.
So I would look at the open, and that's the top of the fat body part of this candlestick.
Mm-hmm.
So that would
I
be
might put mine a little bit below just to make sure it hits.
yeah. See, I like this because it's like the support for this area, for this price action above it, but it's also the open price of this big red one. But this is $7. This open price is $7.29. That's a nice move from from where we are right now. We
Mm-hmm.
are at damn, my eyes are gone. How about I just do this and look up here? 414 at the high, and we closed at $3.54. So to $7 is a 100% gain. So we might get 100% if let's say in my paper trading account, if I in my imaginary money account where we test out theories and stuff, let's say I bought at the open on Monday, and the price at least gets to the closing. I'm sorry, the open, which is $7.29. That's a 100% gain. That's a double. So yeah, I like this one. What else did we discuss?
XBIT.
And and this is another virus play.
Yeah, they work with antibodies in the blood, see if you got the virus, and they also try to extract the antibodies that can fight off the virus. They try to extract it and use it as a treatment.
I'm trying to see about. So we had to have talked about it right in here, because that would be early April, about 3 weeks ago. This was the week that ended the 8th of April, so it was around here. I don't know what we said, but this is still looking good.
Yeah. I'm just looking for that candlestick like the other one that I'm going to sell.
I see. You look at this. We got to this doji right here. Price could have gone up or down. It went up. I like this. I like the fact that we had this big move down, and this low here is higher than this low. So we got a nice trend going. Yeah, I think this is a good one. I think that we could go. This could do it. We could get to 41.
Oh, okay. Well, it's even better.
Yeah, I like this one.
See, I don't bullshit when I find these things.
Oh man, yeah, you want it, man. You just,
I just got,
I could just trade your research, man. And just, just like look at it, look at the chart, make sure, that it's right. And that's what I'm hoping to, as my Patreon group grows. That's my goal. Because you can't trade everything. You're the guy in that group that's mastering the penny plays. We have other people in the group who focus on cryptocurrencies.
yeah,
So, and then of course I like to hang out in the
Forex.
forex space.
Yeah, I gotta try to learn. That's what I'm trying to get at, man. I gotta get these charts down better.
Yeah, you're doing good. You're doing very good. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think what's slowing you down, success is slowing you down. Because okay, you had a fundamental approach when you came to the group, and you're adding technical analysis to it, and it's complementing what you were already doing, and you're making money. So the fact that you're spending a lot of time really just making work what you're doing. So in a sense, I kind of feel like you maybe just need to keep doing what you're doing. It's working.
Yeah,
You found something that's working, and everybody else, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find something, a strategy, from all these oscillators and all of these concepts that I'm teaching them. They're trying to discover what kind of trader they are, what's their lane. And you found your lane, and you found a strategy, a way to combine the fundamentals with the technicals in a way that that has you winning more than not. So yeah, I think that you're at that point where when people find a strategy that works, I know it sounds crazy, but they get bored. They actually get a little bit bored with winning, and it's sort of like McDonald's, over 1 billion served. At some point in that process of making a billion the same way over and over, you're gonna get bored with the process. So I think that's kind of where you are. You still there?
yeah, I'm here.
Did that sound totally crazy what I just said, or is there any of it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess because, like you said, I've been, lucky enough to kind of, you know, uh, pick out some that look like they might be able to move, and then some of them they actually do move. So that's kind of lucky. I usually
I would get luck out of it. Don't say that. How long you been trading, man? I've been seeing you around on these YouTube streets for several years, and you've been consistently at this game. You do all the research to find your opportunities, in the penny stock arena, and you're applying technical analysis to it. You put in too much work to use that word luck.
Yeah, I just try to go where the sectors look like the money is going. Like, remember you said a while ago, follow where the money is going. Like, if the money's leaving the S&P 500 and going to staples at pharmaceutical companies, or if they're leaving one sector, that's what I try to do.
That's it. Follow the money. I mean, the whales, and that's your very rich folks, your fund managers. They run the show. Their opinion decides what's going to rise and what's going to fall. So we just trying to get out of their way. We trying to get in just after they enter, and we're trying to leave just before they exit. Okay.
Yeah.
So in between those two, that's where we live. And because we're guppies, we don't have no whole lot of money compared to them. We can enter and exit a position by one click of a button. And when you have $1 billion, billions of dollars, like a Warren Buffett, and I'm just using him figuratively because that's the name everybody knows. But there are many other of these such whales. But they have so much money, they have to have a program of selling or a program of buying, because it takes them a long period of time to enter a position, because the amount of money they have in their pockets is greater than the volume of shares traded in a particular stock in a particular day. So they are the market. So they can't buy it all that day, because they end up bidding against themselves. They make the price high. You know, they mess up the game, as we say on the street. You know, just by spending, by doing too much, by overspending. Okay, so they have to try to be sneaky about, putting certain small little blocks in on a consistent level. And technical analysis, our oscillators show us when they're doing that. And so that's when we go, okay, not only did the price find the bottom, but there's volume there that shows us, okay, big money entered the room. So they're not going to let this thing fall below a certain point, because that represents a value level for them, and they're going to buy it up. So
I got a question now. These food shortages. Do you think they could short against staple stocks eventually and use that as a reason to go against food staples?
no, I think it's the inverse. Demand. Okay, there's a short. Okay, we might have you talking about the possible contamination of certain aspects of the food supply.
Well,
Well, that
just people getting sick with the COVID and then saying they got to shut down some plants here and there.
right. That's what I mean. Right,
Yeah.
right. But that's going to make people.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
don't want
right.
to use the word fight, but people going to
Yeah.
clamor over the food that exists.
Oh, okay.
So just like people now, if people were hoarding toilet paper, what you think they're gonna do with the other end of the equation, the top side of
Mm,
the process? I mean, before you you got to eat, right?
yeah. So I guess it goes hand in hand, right?
That's right. They're gonna hoard that. They're gonna hoard food, and the price gonna go. It's gonna be ridiculous. So the
Mm,
staples is gonna go through the roof. The staple stocks are gonna look like tech stocks.
mm.
It's going to become the new Fang, the new Apple, and all of that. It's one of them
So
I haven't watched in a long time, but I need to look at Chipotle. Back in the day, we called that
and Beyond Meat.
the burrito play. Because everything in that burrito, can be traded, and you can. It's like that one thing, that burrito just covers so many things in the agricultural space. I haven't even looked at that stock in a while. I'm um, kind of behind on stuff, but this that oil complex is just taking up a lot of my time. But I'm sorry, go ahead. What was that?
Oh, and then I said Beyond Meat, maybe.
Exactly. See, oh come on, you seen the price of? And we're gonna get to today's stocks, but we'll get there. But Beyond Meat, man, look at this thing. Okay, this is an example of what I was saying earlier. I mean, this is impressive. And when I said we don't chase, okay, when Bitcoin took off, because I'm a technical trader, I was saying, back when, I think at the time I was on BGS's show, I was telling folks I wouldn't buy it with your money. We don't chase. Technical traders, we don't chase. What goes up must come down. We'll wait for it, we'll wait
Yeah.
for it. But
Mm,
I this low here, this is gonna hold. I think, in my opinion, this is gonna hold. Okay, but at some point it's gonna come back down. We're gonna have a real retest of this too. Okay, so what I was saying about the S&P 500 should resume its downtrend, and I was saying about Tupperware that some of those staple stocks are going to also decline, but they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop,
mm.
and then they're gonna start going up. And I think this is gonna happen with Beyond Meat and your more established food stocks like Tyson's, and just start to pay attention to who makes. Write down Oscar Mayer when you're going in the grocery store. Start to get familiar with the names of the products that you buy. Save your grocery list. That's what you do when you go to the grocery store. Save your grocery list and go to barcharts.com. My site's there, and do a little research and find out what company owns them, or read on the back of the label itself of the product, and you should be able to see the company that makes that product, and kind of get familiar with it, and you see how many of the products you buy every week are made by the same small handful of companies, and that'll tell you right there. That'll tell you right there. You know what products you like in the store that ain't never on the shelf. You know that. So now you walk out the store pissed off because you had to buy this other brand that you don't even like. So you got a lot of information right there. You just don't know that you what you know. You don't know the value of what you already know. So y'all need to be on my Patreon site. Get this game now.
Yeah. So I when I load up on food staples, I'll be in cash mostly. I'll
Right.
wait for the for everything to start crashing, and I'll start buying that.
Right. But yeah, I think this is gonna have a little. Yeah, I think this is gonna have a little pullback. We'll see what happens. But I think this is gonna be one of those stocks that's gonna have that's gonna decline as the S&P 500 is declining. But the S&P 500 is gonna continue to decline, and this is gonna stop and start going north. That separation from that disconnection from the S&P 500. I believe the staples are going to do that, but there's still some of those staples that need to pull back. Walmart, I think, is one of those. It needs a little haircut. Okay, so it might even be a little nasty pullback. So I'm just saying that the staples, what's going on with them, is different from what's going on with the market at large. And we're going to begin to see some separation between some of these industries that's going to rise meanwhile, the major indexes are going to continue to decline. And that's the frustrating part right now when you look up and you see just about everything falling. Well, it doesn't. Everything is not in the same boat. They are in the sense that everything was overbought. We just come from a market that reached an all-time high, and this was the strongest bull market in the history of markets that ran from 2009 to just now. So yeah, everything was in the same boat of being overbought, or as the classic line is when the brother said rent is too damn high. Okay, so everything was too damn high. I don't think that brother knows how prophetic he was when he said that rent is too damn high. Everything was too high. Steel, aluminum, oil, all of it. The little trade war with China was because steel prices had run up too high, and the inventories of steel and aluminum had run up too high, and every country had a huge oversupply of it, and China was trying to get rid of their oversupply by dumping it on us.
Yeah.
Okay, but that seems like a long time ago. But back on the Brain Trust, when I was on there a lot more regularly, I was bringing that up way back then. That what's going on in aluminum it's going to spread throughout the economy. It's a lot of sectors where we just greed caused, just like people hoarding toilet paper. Companies do that with raw materials that's needed. They hoard it because it's going to be worth more tomorrow than it cost them to buy it today. Well, during an uptrend, that's fine. But at some point, that way of thinking is fine. But at some point in that cycle, that scenario no longer is true. At some point in time, the price you bought it for today, you won't be able to sell it for higher than that tomorrow. So it flips. And that's what's going on right now in the markets. And that's why the prices are falling like they are, because when you can't sell it on the retail end uh, at a price that gives you a profit, you're losing money because you're paying to store that crap. All that hoarding that you did, now you have no place to store it, and that's what's going on with oil. We don't have any place to store that crap.
Yep. Yep.
So a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, she has a saying: the greedy become the needy. So what we're looking at is just a natural cycle of greed being punished. So it's got to happen. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I like this, but I want to see it come down a little bit. Yeah, Beyond Meat. I believe one day next week. I don't know if it's Monday or Wednesday. This is just the name of the real Dana. We're trying to work out a show over on her channel. I believe Mike V from the Brain Trust is going to be on that show. We're going to be discussing trading in general and economics, trading in particular, economics in general, and the intersection of economics and geopolitics. This is going to be a pretty,
Oh.
pretty heady thing.
Oh, yeah. You got to have a brain do all that kind of stuff. I learned from Albert Einstein. Keep it simple. That's the best way. That's what I do. I just focus on.
Well, look,
one thing.
when I saw that she wanted to talk about all of that, I said, you know what? I think I need to call Mike V.
Yeah, Mike V got the brain. He can
Yeah,
navigate all through that.
right. I said I'm not even gonna try to bite off all that on my own. I'm not even gonna try that. Let me just stay in my lane as a trader. You start trying to connect it to news events as it relates to all this uh, chest thumping between
Yeah,
nations. I'm like, I think
yeah,
I need to call in some reinforcements for that one. Let me
yeah,
just stay with the money flow. you
yeah,
know?
yeah. You
Um,
gotta be down Minority Report, do all that kind of stuff.
right. So, what else did we talk about in that? Did we cover all the stock that we discussed in that show 3 weeks ago?
And then it was BSGM.
BSGM.
It had a little move and then it pulled back.
And this is another virus stock. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. We were in the first week of April.
Mm.
Let's see where
Not
we
looking
were.
good.
We were right around in here, right in
Yeah.
this consolidation. Okay, right in this that word. What do I mean by that consolidation? This congestion. Okay, this price is not going up, not going down, just kind of moving sideways, and we know price can't stay in that. And we got a triangle pattern here, a symmetrical triangle, and it did what symmetrical triangles do: break out. It can break either way, but given that we were already had a deep decline, the probability was that we would break higher. Not only did we go higher, it seems that we made a higher high. Nice. And so the date of this was May 14th last year is when we made this high. And then we made a low on March of this year. Like when the S&P 500 reached its bottom, this thing reached the bottom too. So this thing declined for about 10 months. And I'm making a point here. It declined for 10 months, but then it regained all of the losses that it experienced in 10 months. You got all your money back and made a higher high in about 5 or 6 weeks. This makes the point that I say a lot. Prices rise a whole lot faster than they fall. And so we, as humans, we'll look at something or our situation or the price on the chart. We'll think that because something's been falling a long time, that we can step away from it and forget about it, or the converse. Since the S&P 500 has just been rising, for a long time, that I really don't need to pay attention to it. And then February 20th happens, and you get that big decline that only took 30 days, 30 calendar days, 20 trading days, and you can wipe out like a year. A month can wipe out a year, you know, something like that. It's just you really got to stay on top of this stuff. You can't. There's no such thing as set and forget. When you sleep at the wheel, none of that stuff.
Sleep at the wheel.
You got to pay attention to your money, and you got to get this chart game. So yeah, this thing looks like it wants to come back down a little more, but I would be surprised if it really dropped too much below this area.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I sold it. I took profits because I saw it.
Yeah, but keep this on your watch list.
Okay.
Keep this on your watch list for a time in the near future to revisit this. So we're going to be looking to see how if this price area here holds, as it settles down and gets back to oversold state, if this low holds. But the overwhelming probability that it will hold, is tremendously strong because we made a higher high. Okay, so so this thing, the highest point was in, what's that, April of 2015. Okay, so it fell here to 2016. It did this little thing. Let me see. Is this a lower low here? Do we have an outside move or a bullish outside move? Let's see. This low is 236, and this is 225. Okay, so we got a higher low right here. This low here is not lower than this one, and it went and attacked this high. This one's next. It's gonna get it too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now this is again the problem with these.
Not enough data.
Not enough data. Not enough data. What I do in this situation is stocks trading industries. Okay, and this is in the biotech. So you go to bar chart and you do research on the whole industry. Okay, you find an index or something that represents the whole industry, and you see if the whole industry is moving, because that's a good sign. So if the whole industry is moving, and I have reasons that I like this particular chart, and I do, then I would have no problem buying into it, although there isn't a lot of chart data. Now, everything I just said about this absence of a long price history applies to Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat is, just had an IPO. They don't have a lot of chart data either, but they're in the staple space. It's meat, it's food, so, or I guess it's meat.
Yeah, because you know what? You know what? If they don't have beef, they're gonna have that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So people have to start buying.
Yeah, we're gonna have people with with Vitamixers. They're gonna be, somebody gonna hack Beyond Beef, and they're gonna have a Vitamixer, and people are gonna be we're gonna return to agriculture. I'm gonna have to do another show later about get deep dive into agriculture, because my favorite thing is fertilizer.
Oh, okay.
Everything comes back to that, fertilizer and seeds. Okay, and at some point, if this pandemic continues, we're gonna have to really turn our attention to hoarding seeds. Okay, that's gonna be the next rush, because we're gonna end up growing food again. You know, you're gonna be having, windowsill gardens. Every balcony gonna be growing some kind of vegetable. I mean, especially if we get to the point where we can't trust the food in the daggone grocery store, you know, everybody gonna end up, there's gonna be green thumb channels all throughout, YouTube. People gonna be talking about growing tips, all those channels that grow food, especially that grow food indoors in urban,
Yeah.
urban,
If you
urban
can't leave it
garden.
outside, people will walk in your yard and try to steal it.
Right, right, exactly. People going to be stealing food, stealing plants, you know.
Yeah.
I think that we're gonna see those stocks go up. But like I said, I got so much I got to do, and no one person can cover all of this. And so, as my Patreon group grows, I'm hoping that we can fan out and cover the entire spectrum,
Yeah.
and develop like little analysts. Everybody's like a little mini expert in their space, and they kind of shout out opportunities. To
Yeah,
make
because
things.
I did put the word out like last month and a half. I noticed there's a little uptick.
Oh man, thanks, 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 thanks. Yeah, I did. Well, maybe you're the reason why I did get a surge in the last month of Patreon members. I did
Probably
get it.
Linnell too. He probably put out the word too.
Yeah, yeah, and it may have been O'Shea.
Yeah,
Shout out
that
to
too.
O'Shea Duke Jackson. Thank you, brother. He's been giving me some attention, shouting it out to his super large group, and I appreciate that.
Oh
You know,
yeah, the O'Shea's the goat, man.
yeah, oh definitely, definitely, and I'll shout out BGS too.
Oh
He
yeah,
feels
yeah. He's another one too.
Because I
Yeah,
ask people, how'd you hear about me? And they'll say, because I have a small channel. I'm a very,
yeah.
very small channel.
I
And
have a
so,
zero channel.
and I'm pushing you, brother, to get a channel. I know I
Yeah,
keep mentioning it to you, but I understand because when you doing the research on the stocks, so that's why I'm not posting every day because I'm like actually trading and in this, and then at some point I just get tired of this stuff. I want to do something else, and that's when y'all see me on those other places and spaces in the manosphere and sectors of YouTube because
yeah,
I don't want to talk about stocks. I want to talk about that other stuff we talk about. you know?
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, this is definitely one to pay attention to on the pullback. But don't walk away from this one.
Okay, I won't walk away, but I sure took profits.
Right. Because it might be sooner than we think. Because this looks like the Elliott wave theory. It looks like a 1, 2, a 3. We should have a pullback, a wave 4 that may not. It's not supposed to encroach on this. Okay, so
Okay,
this could be sooner than later. And this is a 4-hour chart that I jumped down to right
and
now.
I got cash on the sideline, so I can dump.
Yeah, and most of all, this higher high.
Yeah, I saw that too.
We talking about 10 months worth of destruction, and it recovered all of it in a little over a month.
So, are you concerned that it followed the S&P 500, and the S&P, like it says, about to decline?
I think this may separate from it, like I said, like beyond like the staples.
Oh,
Some we're going to see certain industries separate and go north while the total indexes are still going south. We're not. It's not. That's important for everybody to keep in mind that the S&P 500. It's a broad. It's the entire. It's all of the industries in the economy are represented in that. But some industries are favored at the same time when some industries are loved while others are hated. And some stocks are falling for different reasons. Like some industries are going to have a temporary pullback, and other industries are on schedule to have destruction, like what's happening with oil. So the differentiation is about to happen. It's about to be seen. About to become more obvious. And as that happens, I'll do a little more videos here and there. If I have anything left over after my Patreon group, I try to load y'all up, man. you know.
Yeah.
So what else? What else we got? So this completed what we did 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we got for this week?
INSE. That was the first one you said that one's gonna pull back.
And for the viewer who commented about marijuana, when am I going to do a video on Aurora cannabis? I promise you, I'm going to do that video today, likely within 1 hour of this thing closing. So
yeah, I remember he was in the comment section.
Yeah. Like I said, I had so much to do, but I peeked at it today. I said, because that dude gonna show up, and because he came back, he wrote like another time. He came back about a week later to say, when you gonna do that video?
I told him biotech is a new weed.
So I said, I'm gonna beat him to the punch before he can make another post about Aurora cannabis. I'm gonna do that video today. I really wanted to do it before this show, but I couldn't get myself together. But
I set the time too early.
I slept too late. I was up.
Oh.
I was up all on YouTube last night. I need to quit. Now this is interesting here. Like if the price can get above this level, that'll be pretty interesting. But let's say it can't get above. Let's say that's as high as it goes. But this is still 2 versus 298.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a good win. See, when you're looking at these small numbers, you got to keep in mind the move from $3 to $5. That's still a nice move. You're talking 60, 70%.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So and you got to keep in mind, everybody watching, we're traders. Okay, we're traders. So we're trying to catch a move, catch a swing, and get out. There's some that maybe might be worth holding on to a little longer, maybe like Beyond Beef or some of these staple stocks. When they reach their bottom, and I'm gonna try to be clear what things I like for the long term and what things I'm just trying to get in and get out. Now, first of all, what is this company?
They do virtual esports gaming. They have a platform. And DraftKings, I think, bought their services.
Okay, they charge for their service, right?
Yeah. And
so the thinking is, with everybody shut in so much, although they're opening, quote unquote, opening the economy again, I still think that people are going to a large number of people are going to be pretty smart and not go out and socialize unless it's really necessary. I still think that people are going to stay home a lot, and so this e-gaming stuff, they could see a nice revenue pop. So yeah, so even if worst case scenario, we get up here to this like 430, that's a nice, anything more than 50%, man,
Yeah, because at 430, there's a lot of resistance past that. They're gonna have to. It's gonna be hype, and then it's gonna be prove it. I want to see, what you got behind the curtain.
Yeah. But for a short trade, that looks like you can get this over the next week or two. You can get that.
Yeah,
that seems like money.
I can damn that real quick then.
Yeah.
What the big money is going to do is they're going to go in before anybody's talking about it. Then an article's going to come out. Then they're going to take the money out.
But I tell you what, if it goes below, I say either of these two, I don't know.
Mm,
I
okay,
keep
I
looking
got
to
you.
see. Yeah, yeah, because I wouldn't want to be in it if it's doing this, you know,
Mm,
So you got to have an exit plan. You got to always say, well, this is what I think will happen, but what if I'm wrong?
right. And I put a stop loss in at that
Yeah,
point.
this thing. Oh, I see what's going on. This volume bar is right over the price bar. It's confusing it, right? So yeah, that's the deal with this one. But after that, it'll probably get a little pullback, and we'll see what it does um, after it gets to this resistance area here. Probably it's going to pull back, and,
Yeah,
and,
it
and at
is.
that point, we'll watch it and we'll see what it does. It's likely to go lower than this. It could. It's like I say it's likely because usually a lot of times it'll retest a key uh, resistance and then go find a new low.
Mm,
Too many times it does that. So,
yeah,
but we'll just you profit on this way up, and then we'll just watch it on the way down.
right.
And this would be one of those where I would go look at the bigger players in this space. That would be what, like Activision and what, Take Two
Yeah,
and those kinds of stocks. I'm not really up on this space. Gamers know. AE Sports, is that, yeah, they still in it, right? AE Sports,
yeah. EA Sports.
yeah. So that.
Microsoft's in that space.
Oh yeah,
Sony, because they own PlayStation, and Microsoft
gotcha,
owns Xbox. So,
gotcha. Now, if the price goes in, encroaches in this area above this point, now my view or opinion that this low is going to hold is, I'm going to be more inclined to think that this low is going to hold
mm,
if we violate this broken floor or this ceiling. If we crash through this ceiling right here,
yeah, I
I'm
guess.
gonna, I'm gonna feel better about this low holding.
Yeah, we gotta see what the where the money's going, how they feel about Microsoft and Sony.
Right. But in either case, once it gets up into this area, my mindset would be get on the sideline and let
Mm,
it let it prove it to you. Make this little money on the way up, but whenever it gets overbought and is ready to start pulling back, um,
oh, I'll
I'll
know. I'll know because I see a headline on my phone about sports or gaming, and then I know okay, it's time to get out. Because they pay these organizations to put these articles out so they can create a buzz.
I say watch what it does as it gets near this resistance.
Right, I'll be gone by then.
You know, I mean this could be a nice move.
I just want me a little dunk in, and I get out of there. Then I'm
Right, right. This would be a nice move, but right up if it starts going sideways, right up in there, yeah, yeah, okay. I'll be up out of there,
yeah,
and then I
yeah,
would I will watch to see if this bottom holds, but it might. But yeah, this is one to put on the list too because um, people with a lot of idle time, um, they're gonna be paying for this. I mean, do you follow the earnings for these types of things?
No, not really. Well, really, that the thing is, I watch Samsung, and they got like their own little TV programming you can go
Hmm.
to if you turn past the cable stations,
Hmm.
and they got this one channel that plays simulation football. Like
Hmm.
it used to be 2K8, but they just made a simulation football series out of it. They use the same graphics, they just use different teams.
Okay, but I tell you what, I'm sorry. What's that site again?
It's on Samsung TV. Like if you have Comcast and you turn past the regular channels,
Uh
if
huh.
you have a Samsung TV, it'll give you a list of TV stations you can watch.
Okay. Okay. But I am a technical purist, but for some reason I am curious about the earnings because see I would not have even thought of this. except if not for talking to you. But
Oh,
I'm interested in the earnings of these gaming companies with everybody sitting at home.
yeah.
Are they translating this to money, to revenue?
And they get, they got low overhead too. So,
Right. You know, look, not well, look. All the sports seasons have been canceled. Okay, I mean, there's no basketball. We didn't get an NCAA tournament. There's no football mini camps, and we are addicted to these sports.
hmm
So the only way we're gonna be able to the closest we're gonna get to a hit is this online gaming. And I mean, I'm speaking as a former Madden addict. I was
yeah,
a Madden addict in it big time. In fact, my old members from my old crew called and let's talk about revitalizing it because everybody got in. And so I didn't make the link to start thinking in terms of stocks. But because you brought this up, now I'm thinking about it. I have to go do some research. I want to see on the fundamental side of things if this has turned into money. If they've seen an increase in revenue as a result of this. That's
mm,
or earning from these things as a result, or both actually, top and bottom line. All right. So yeah, I want to see mm, to be continued on this one. So
okay.
what's the next one?
KLXE.
SE.
XXE.
Gotcha.
There's a oil, I think, oil company.
Okay, so we know that we're talking just a little flash. We're playing this for a minor pullback because we know oil is a bad word. I am absolutely bullish the U.S. dollar. Um, I wouldn't touch it.
Okay.
One,
Yeah.
I'm just biased, and I don't want to go. This thing has been in the counter trend move. Okay, since April 2nd. So we're talking 30 days. It's time for hell to continue. And I don't like this. This is a big ugly. Okay. This is a big ugly. And they say the trend is your friend.
Yeah.
I would be careful with doing betting going counter to the trend, which is down for
Mm,
oil, for this one in particular.
okay.
It's kind of like right on that trend line. This thing is dead, man. This thing is dying. I wouldn't touch this. I don't want it. I tell you what, even if this thing goes higher, I don't want none of this. you know, I'd rather just buy the ETF with shorts oil
Uh,
and just wait for the right time, you know, for that and continue on with the downtrend. I mean, worst case, let's say best case scenario for oil, and I don't believe this, okay? But the best case scenario is if it comes back down and retest this low. So we're talking about the low right here for this is 105. This trend started up at 51 cents. So it could come all the way back down to here. So you would be talking about losing 2/3 of your money if you got in right here and it dropped all the way back down here to the 51 cents area.
right.
I, in addition to the fact that I'm not trying to be no Captain Saver, you know what? Your dad on oil. No, I'm not the one.
You know
So
what? Leftover oil.
man, I'm the dude out there looking at those bearish ETFs to try to short this thing. Now, that would interest me. I'll take that bet. I would. What is that daggone thing? Is it? I'm trying to. I don't even remember it. Is it ICO? No, I'm gonna give up. Is it drip?
The only reason I like this one is because they got $100 million
This is
credit facility that they don't have to pay back until 2025. So I might look at it later on.
I say the fun. I say the technicals over those logical fundamental stories. The technicals, man. The
Okay.
technicals. The technicals. Okay, so this is drip. Meaning it goes up when oil goes down. Okay. So we see it broke out of this long sideways pattern. So we had that nice pop, and
Mm-hmm.
it's trying to find a bottom. And on this daily chart, it's not really there yet. It looked like it could be here. See, I'm more inclined to want to get in to this right here with a stop loss right below this. This is my style, more my style. I'd rather bet against this daggone stuff. But wait a minute, something's wrong with this chart. Why am I getting this? Oh crap! Wait a minute, I'm not looking at it right. What the heck is this? Does it have a split like a red? Okay, let me look at this on another chart. Sometimes the
Yeah.
company will do like a reverse split or something, and one chart provider won't correct the chart.
Oh yeah.
The
That
chart.
boy make the move.
Let's see. This is. Let me look at the date of this. April 30th. Yeah. So yeah, this one seems to be right. Okay. So right, I like this bigger candlestick here, and I'm looking at a daily chart. So I like what it did here. Again, this is a bearish ETF. So at its high, it went up to $59-$60, and then it just when oil had that good run in the month of April, which that last chart showed that it was rising. Or what? Let me make this point. We were just looking at that low price stock that's a energy in the energy space, and I was making the point that stocks move in tandem with their whole industry. This thing is shorting the entire oil industry, the entire energy space, or oil space declined for the same. I'm sorry, it rose for the same time period that this thing, which shorts oil, declined. So it shows that energy stock we were just looking at, it's correlated with this industry. It's moving right in sync with its industry. Am I making that point right? Are you hearing me? You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So this just proves it. That you pick the industry. So if you're looking at a penny stock and you don't have enough chart data, go find the biggest company, or two or three biggest companies in that space, or you find an index that represents that whole space, and you look at that chart and compare that single stock you're looking at to that bigger chart that does have the data history, you know, and that penny stock should look just like the bigger company, because sometimes what traders do, they're trying to get a positive return on their whole portfolio.
Mm.
Sometimes they'll go down to that penny space and kind of goose up their returns. There's a thing called the law of small numbers, because that penny stock it doesn't take much to get a 100% gain. And so, they go out there and find penny stocks in the oil space or something, and they go down there and make huge gains, and then that kind of can offset some losses in
Mm.
their overall portfolio. So that's,
Okay.
sometimes you get folks with like, some decent sized money going down there to the penny space just for a trade because they're trying to, eke the last bit of performance out of their portfolio. But I like this. Let me see what it looks like a little. Okay. Yep, I like it a lot. Let me just go to this part right here. I like the fact that we had this low here in January of this year, and we made this extreme move higher. And although when we came back down here, we did not make a lower low. I like that. I especially like that the low held. Okay. Remember, I was saying on these other charts, we'll see if the low holds when they return, when they have their pullback. That's the test. You know, um, there's no real the rule I follow with these trend lines. I want to touch the prices as many times as possible. So if I was to draw it right from here to here, it wouldn't get enough touches. So I just measure it from here. Whatever gives me the most touches, and we see that it broke it. So this suggests to me, and you got a nice volume candle here. This suggests to me that again we're looking at an ETF that goes up when oil goes down. So this is the play to make money off of oil and off of oil declining. And this high is $8.28. That was the high. Um, See, I'd be the type that want to buy this like pretty soon after the open. So you got $8, and the high here is $59. That's a hell of a move. And we
Yeah.
talking what's eight times seven is 56, so at least 700%
Wow. That's a lot.
just to get back to here. If it goes higher than here, it could go, of course, much more. But this, I like this. I like this. I would,
Yeah.
I
I
would,
like
I
that.
would.
Bottom looks good too.
I mean, and if it made a low below this candlestick,
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do it then.
yeah, I would be care. It would get my attention. This low is $7.22. If it dropped below that, I would probably get out at that point. But from here up, I think this is good. We broke the trend line. We went higher than this candlestick here. Got good volume. Way oversold. Again, this is a bet that oil will continue to die, and I'm bullish the dollar, and the strong dollar means weak oil. So this is calling my name. This is
So
my
how,
style.
how do you think further stimulus would affect the dollar? You don't think it'll have any effect on it?
No, I don't. I don't think. I think that their capacity to they don't have ultimate capacity to manipulate. At some point, the fear is going to overwhelm. Fear is overwhelming greed right now. Okay, we have FOMO on the fear of missing out on the way up. People were concerned with appreciation of capital. Now people are concerned with loss of capital, loss of money. They're fearing losing money. And on the way up, people were fearing missing out on the gain. Now they're fearing losing what they have. So the psychology has changed right now. And so
Mm.
I don't think there's anything they can do. Um, Nature has to win. Okay, we got to have what's called reversion to the mean. The greedy have to pay.
Mm.
It's all these prices are gonna have to correct. It's just you know it's just got to happen, and it's going to happen because you see when this market starts declining, it's taking big giant steps, and that's not people like you and I. That's the richest people in this country selling stock, and they're gonna sell. They're
Yeah,
gonna
they don't even care. They don't even have technical analysis or follow anything. They just go to whoever does it for them and they do it.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
idea.
They would hire somebody. I'm not gonna say somebody like me, somebody that knows a whole lot more than me. They have these folks on, on speed dial, you know, and those people call and say, look, technically you might want to get out of this, and you can always revisit, reconsider entering later, but for now, you need to protect your game, get
Yeah,
out, and
yeah. Now
so.
some of them know what they're doing, but the majority of them don't. Because they don't have to.
Right. But again, in context, the reason I brought this up was to make the point that when you're trading those penny stocks and you don't have enough chart data,
Mhm.
sometimes you gotta look elsewhere to get a sense of what's going on in that industry. That would kind of reinforce your opinion about what's going on with that small stock. I didn't mean to do that, but now it doesn't matter. Let's see what else we got.
Uh, MDGS.
I'm sorry. Look at this. This is
Oh,
crude West Texas Intermediate. This thing is trading sideways right here. Look like we got a little triangle happen. This thing getting ready to die.
oh no! I'm out Monday. I'm putting my thing in Monday morning.
So when this thing goes down, that ETF drip we were just looking at, it's gonna
Hmm.
go up. Okay. Let me see
Oh, I
something.
might just go ahead and buy into that then.
Oh yeah, drip is the move. That
I
don't.
got some options now.
Oh, she pretty, man. She's pretty. This thing a little broken a little bit, but this thing is going. This thing is gonna die. Let me go back even more. I want to go back to a 4 hour. Yeah, I think this is a little minor thing. When it starts declining, you know, we'll just do this. When it starts declining, I'll leave it here for now. But when it starts declining, we'll see. Let me let me make this bolder. Let me get my stochastic back that I had. Yeah, this thing is done. Overboard on a 4 hour, overboard on the daily.
What about the 1 minute? I know that's overbought.
Oh, of course, that's gonna live there.
Oh, look at that. That's a
This is the
straight drop.
weekly. This is the weekly. I don't trust this. Look at this big pen. This is like one of those flash trades they talk about. So this price went down to 40 on that low. Oh no, this is the negative. This is negative 40. Negative 40. How they do that? Negative $40.
Damn.
So you pay them to hold your money.
Oh yeah, that's
I,
true. Yeah.
nah. So when I'm investing in drip, I'm basically saying this gonna happen again.
Yeah.
That's what the drip ETF is like. Okay, this gonna happen again. More of this, you know. So
What's the name of that company again? I
this
mean,
is
well, the
this
name of
is
the
West
ETF. I'm
West.
sorry.
Drip is the one that goes up when oil goes down.
Yeah.
That's drip, like
Oh,
drip,
drip.
like a sink dripping, a faucet
I
dripping.
got you. I
Yeah,
got you. That's a good name.
yeah. Oil drip, like your oil, your car dripping oil. That's
And
that's
whoever
what
came up
it
with that,
is. Yeah,
the name pretty much says it all.
yeah. They got a good sense of humor. And let me show y'all something about oil. People, technical analysis clues you in. Oil has been falling since 2008. Okay, so we've been in order to really understand and get a real appreciation for this, you'd have to look at all oil charts going back like almost 100 years or something, and you'll see like it just took off like Superman. It just was way overboard for so long. And we created such an oil. Now this is when we hit that all-time high in oil when it had reached $147 a barrel. And this is what happened. So anytime you hear that something reached an all-time high, that's one of your signals that this could be next. Okay. All right. So when you hear that the S&P, and Dow had reached all-time highs, well, this was around the corner. And although I was saying it at the time, people wasn't trying to hear that. Like they wasn't trying to hear it about Bitcoin. But there's the down that comes after the up. But then there's the up that comes after the down. Nothing goes on forever. And the market, the thing about the prices in the market, they overshoot in both directions. It goes ridiculously high, to irrational levels, and it falls ridiculously low to irrational levels. So the problem is, especially on that fundamental side, they try to apply logic and reason to something that's not always logical or reasonable. And that's where technical analysis comes in. It just shows you to trade that momentum, trade that structure, and the price action, and take the limits of what we think is logical or reasonable out of the equation. I mean, who knew that we would be talking about negative prices for oil? So back to the point made earlier, cheap can always get cheaper. Okay. Yeah. Cheap can get cheaper. And you see this, it had a touch right here at this low, had a touch here at this low, and I said, what? There's no such thing as a triple bottom. It came down and went right through it. Okay. So the greedy gotta pay. So what else we got?
Oh, MDGS.
This was the last one?
Yeah, it's a biotech.
MDGS. See, this is another one without a lot of data.
Yeah.
I like this ABC pattern though. I'm going to take a look at Pfizer. I think they're the largest drug stock. This is a monthly that I'm looking at. I like this. Question is, I like the fact also that it went above all of this price high right here. I like that. I want to look at Pfizer. What is this? This high was in 2015. Let me see the volume for this. Hey, folks came to party.
Oh yeah.
They came to party.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good thing.
Let me see something. Where's that line I just drew? Oh, it's way up here. Okay, let me see this one. That's $17. That we at around $5. That's the next place where we get any kind of real kind of resistance. I want to take a look at Pfizer, the big dog in the space. I'm wondering when is this thing going to have a little pullback, and this is called a price gap. So this is like some serious enthusiasm. So it gapped up, but then it's starting to sell. So it didn't hold. It's not holding. So we'll see. A lot of times when prices gap, they do what they call, they fill the gap. The price will come all the way back down to this level and fill the gap. So I kind of inclined to want to see this thing come back down and get to be oversold level, to wait for an opportunity. Just like when we started this, I was saying about whatever we were looking at the time, you don't want to chase. You don't
Yeah.
want to chase, you know. But this is a nice run. It went, right up to this level.
Yeah, I bought it Thursday, so I couldn't partake when it gapped.
And so, what's their drug? Tell me about what.
They got like little test kits they sell in Mexico, supposedly, and then they got some kind of
I'm sorry, when you say this is like just for Joe Blow citizen to buy their home test kit for the virus.
yeah. Well, they're approved to sell it to Mexico. They're a company out of Israel.
Okay, so they're selling it to Mexico.
Yeah, and then they have some
And
molecular gel they're working with.
I'm sorry,
That's
let me
supposed
just
to
stay stuck
prevent.
on. I'm still stuck on the first part. So, so the people of Mexico, just regular Joe Blow citizens, they're going to be able to buy a test kit, a home test kit for the
I
virus.
gotta read the headline because you know me. I just skim over it, and if I like the way what it sounds like and the chart looks good, I'll
I'm
buy
pretty much. I'm
it.
guilty too. I'm guilty. That's we technically know.
Because you trade me like that, so now I just don't even. As long as it's somewhere, if it just says COVID, I'm in there. As long as it's not. As
and,
long as
and and you're not marrying it for long term. This is just a trade. You're just gonna hold it for a short while. It's for it to run from point A to point B, right? So that's why we don't have to. I don't want to have all the fundamental traders blow up my daggone chat. We're not talking about a long term investment and ignoring details of what the company does. We just identifying trades. So yeah, if you know you're going to be in and out of the thing, it doesn't really matter. You can catch that run. You can
yeah,
catch.
long as long as if they say they COVID is if they're selling COVID items in the United States, they got to be approved by the FDA. If they're not approved, then I wouldn't buy them. Or they're not doing a vaccine,
Is this the right number? MDGS?
Yeah.
Ain't that right name? Oh yeah. I want to look
And
up.
it says they're a technology company developing minimally invasive tools and an innovator in direct visualization technology. Today announced the following signing for a collaboration agreement with L1 System Ltd for joint commercialization of various COVID-19 related products and solutions, government agencies, institutional healthcare organizations. The company received its first commercial order for COVID-19 serological test kits.
All
The
right.
purchase order was received from a Mexican company which engages in the distribution of medical equipment to various medical centers in Mexico. Prior to placing the order, the Mexican company performed an examination of testing kits, and the following examination placed an order for 10,000 kits with a total order value of $10,000.
So this company is so small that's a small number, but we also talk about a kind of small company.
Yeah, and it says L1 Systems maintains close relationship with a Chinese partner with several approved factories as well as additional manufacturers of COVID-19 serological testing kits. So I guess they working with the Chinese. That's another flag, but I'm just in for a trade. So
Yeah, we just, this is called hit. We hit it and quit it over here. We hit it and quit it stocks. Okay.
yeah, but
All
I
right.
bought it. I bought it yesterday because they had a headline about some kind of gel you can put over your skin or your eyes on like on your skin to protect you from COVID. So I said that sounds kind of interesting. But
Pfizer. This is what I wanted to look at. This is the drug. The drug behemoth. Let me look at it over here. Okay, Pfizer wants to have a pullback. Now we also
Yeah, it
see that
does.
Pfizer. This is a daily chart, and this high is around December of 2018. So we are about a year and a half away from its peak, and then it hit its bottom.
Yeah, it didn't break
My
that.
eyes are daggone shot. When is this? I'm staring at the charts too much. This is April 23rd. Okay, this is making the example, making the point of what I was saying earlier. Everything falling, there's going to be a separation in some of these industries. It's all bound together. So this thing was already in decline mode. Let me get my bigger. It was already in decline mode before February 20th. And this is the largest drug company. Well, I'm going to confirm that in the U.S. U.S. Of the U.S. drug companies, this is the largest. All right, I'm gonna confirm that. But it was already falling. All right, and then when February 20th came, this thing kept falling, and it hit the bottom with the rest of the S&P. So that's why you were getting those huge declines of 6, 7, 8%. Okay, now this one may be one of those that when it retests this low, that it survives it. That meaning it does not go lower. Doesn't make a lower low than this. Okay, let me move this volume. That it does not go lower than this, and that's what we technical traders are going to be looking for, because I believe that these uh, drug companies, they've had their correction, and this is it. Okay, that it should come down and retest this low and continue going higher. But that's my theory. But we'll see what happens. You know,
Okay.
as we
That's all. All I need is a nice little window so I can try to get these 5 bands I want.
you
If
know,
I'm getting a mid 5 bands, I'm good then, man. I go on the sidelines and play with a
and
couple.
and let me say this. And if that doesn't work, let's
Sell.
say let's say it comes here and it doesn't stop, then I'm gonna be concerned. Because
Yeah.
now I went out to a monthly chart because we didn't make a higher high right here. I might be
Mm.
okay, is this thing rolling over? But first things first, you know, we'll see when we get there. But I think it's for the short term. I think I like Plan A, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens when we get there. But yeah, this thing was already
It looks
under
like it's gonna
pressure.
roll over, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll see. Let me look at
It, it's gonna
I
take
like
some
bar
major
chart.
major strength to bust through that.
One leg at a time. I got now a quarterly chart, and you see I was looking at this at some point in the past. I say at
Yeah.
some point in the past I had a red arrow. I was not believing that this was the end, and I'm still. It's going to be hard for me to give up on that view that this thing is just not going to continue. But
Nah.
we'll see. If it goes lower than this low, that we were looking at, which here, then I'm gonna have to change my opinion on it. But for now, I wouldn't invest in it right now. I want to see it come back and retest this low. It's gotta
Yeah.
survive this low, and when it gets down at this low, I'll have a stop loss right below this low point right here. If I'm getting long, this will be my exit. Where I tell the broker, stop me from losing money. Okay, if it drops below
Okay,
this,
sir. I'll put that in.
that's right. When you go on your order form on the when you place your trade order, there's a box where it'll say stop or special instructions or whatever, and you can click the box and write in the price that you want to put the stop loss at. Now we're enter that price right below this, but for now I put this in the watch list, watch mode, because I think it's going to come down and test this, and that kind of goes with that last chart we were looking at. It looks like it needed to come down a little bit, and so we'll see. But this is a very powerful move for that month. 1 month. This is from March 23rd. So this is from mid-January. So this took like 2 months to make this decline, and we almost there. It'd be interesting to see if we take this high out. This up move is not necessarily over. It's not technically it is not overbought yet. So it's still got gas in the tank. And so if it makes a higher high right here, that will strengthen my opinion that that we're going to survive this low. That when we get the pullback, we're going to survive this low. So technically, we're not really overbought yet. We're there. We're close.
Okay.
We're close to it.
Okay.
So, but this one is we gotta watch this one. This is interesting. This is gonna be a tell. Now, if this low holds, that's setting us up to go well beyond this peak. And so it and this is where I have to guard against my own bias. And so, as a trade, technical trader, you gotta be, trying to be honest with yourself, know that you have a bias. Now, my bias is that the staple space is going to be a refuge, a place where, people are going to hide out during the downturn in the major indexes, because you got to buy your diabetes medicine and your high blood pressure medicine and your depression medication. We're like the most medicated population on earth, and I remember at my job, I was on a benefits task force. I'm a union guy. Okay. I'm a union rebel rouser. And, the company was telling us, we were like, why? They were trying to explain to us why healthcare costs are so high, why we're paying these high premiums and all that. And it took a while, but we beat it out of them. And they said because a large increasing number of the workforce is on antidepressants. So you're literally making us sick. I couldn't resist telling them that. But yeah, so if you need those drugs, it's not a choice. It's not a discretionary thing. You gotta buy your drugs. And so, but again, that's my bias. But I have to yield to what the chart says and not try to superimpose what I think is logic and reason, because the markets don't care about what I think or what we think is logical. You have to do what the price says. So for now, I'm waiting for this thing to get overbought, finish this little run. Hopefully it makes a higher high. Then we're going to have a pullback, and hopefully this low holds. But for now, we're just in watch mode. So.
Okay.
That's was that the end?
Oh, I got one I was looking at, but it went up too fast, so I couldn't catch it.
What was it?
I just want to see if it's gonna go back to support LUVU. They make masks.
Wait a minute, how
but they haven't been approved to do the K95 masks yet. And they got the PP. They want a few small businesses. They got that PPP loan.
Man, that's a ugly candlestick right there.
Yeah. I was looking at it. I wanted to buy, but I missed it. I saw it. I was like,
yeah,
maybe
you certainly did.
6 cents.
I see we talked about this before, and I think I identified this area as a trouble area, and it went a little below it. I wouldn't mess with it. So you have to see. I'm sorry. What do they do again?
They make masks.
Okay, now it's going to have. It looks like it's going to have of course, it's in the middle of some kind of pullback. The issue is how low will it go? So we just have to monitor it and there's some other clues that folks learn on my Patreon, and this is we really are just scratching the surface here, y'all. It's just, we're trying to talk about it in ways that's accessible to a larger number of people, but then that's
it's like What's that? Eight
Yeah,
8.9 cents. That might be where I buy in.
yeah, yeah, could be right. We'll see if it gets there. It could. It could do that. It could do that. So yeah, we just scratching the surface. There's all kinds of methods and different oscillators and all kinds of crap and
Yeah, because I
different
forgot about it.
theories.
I
And
was gonna buy it and I forgot, and I was like, "Oh shit! It done made the move."
yeah, we'll see. And now, technically, it's not overbought, but
Red candle.
that red candlestick, man,
Mm,
that's no joke.
yeah, have
They're
nothing to
trying
play
to
with.
bail, and this is a pretty extended move. It's due. It is overdue.
Yeah, it's overbought.
You know. Let me look at a 4 hour. That's what I'm trying to get. That is ugly, and it is overbought on the lower time frame. So yeah, this thing is. Look at that needle. Nah, we don't chase. We don't chase. You know. So but this is when you put on the list. You know, as the saying goes, timing is everything. You know, and so it's uh kind of like the same thing I just looked at with Pfizer. Pfizer's the big dog. I would say really keep your eye on Pfizer because when Pfizer finishes that retest, if it survives, man, that's when you go look for. I say, let me be clear. I'm not saying I would buy Pfizer. I'm saying I'm using Pfizer as like the signal, the lead dog, the lead
Right.
sled dog. It's gonna tell me what that whole industry is going to do. And so I use Pfizer. You use any market cap leader. Market cap means the largest company in that space. Largest in the sense that market cap means that a market cap leader is a company that has attracted more money in the form of stock purchases than any other company. Those are your market. So meaning that's the ones that the whales have designated as the one they buy. So that's where the big quote smart money is. That's what it means to be the market cap leader. But that's not necessarily the one I'll buy because I want the one that's going to move the highest in terms of price. It might not be the safest, but it'll make me the richest.
Right.
And so I have to incur a little bit more volatility, a little bit more risk. But from my personal style, the way I uh, personally mitigate that is I like to buy ETFs. I buy industry-based ETFs. I generally don't like to buy individual stocks. Generally, um, I might make an exception with that Tupperware. Like,
After he hits that bottom, yeah, that'd be a
yeah,
good.
yeah, that and but then again, the drip trade is kind of the same as Tupperware in a sense because
Mm.
it's all about oil being cheap. So that's kind of redundant to buy drip
Okay, I got
and
you.
then buy Tupperware. It's the same trade
Yeah,
in a
you don't
sense.
want to tie your money up.
Right, right. It's like fake diversification. You know, you're not really diversifying it. You know, it's the same thing. The same macro issue is gonna change the direction of both each at the same time. It's the same, same trade.
Well,
So
as a general rule, when you buying stock, sometimes you gotta kind of buy in the same sector and find which one is the best, and then take that money out and go. Because I never go all in when I first buy until I see the strength. Then I'll just take everything out and I.
so wait a minute. This is a what is this? They say they tell you on here what different sectors. They didn't do it for this one. I'm gonna still show you how to get at it. It's a manufactured brand, wellness, lifestyle, casual furniture, and seating. Strong distributes its product direct to consumers through websites, including liberator.com. So you can always go to that website, go to all these. Okay. Atlanta, Georgia. Located in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's see. You can come over here and you can see. I think it's something that says competitors or something. They don't have it. Usually have something that tells you like other companies in that same. Yeah, I gotta go to Yahoo and some different companies like that to see more about them.
Yeah, so they switched to making masks. Their profile.
Okay. I'm sorry. So they are responding to the shortage.
Yeah.
In masks. So you're right. I've noticed that there's some companies that they mass produce products, and so they already have the process, and so what they make is close enough related. So they just basically pumping a different product down their assembly line.
Yeah. So the only thing with them is they haven't got approved to make K95 masks yet.
Okay.
So they're just general masks that people can buy, not like
not like approved.
Yeah, like people in the medical sector, they can't.
So they're gonna make the mask that we're gonna see in the dollar store or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that might work. So we can end up with a whole business model around disposable masks. Because who really wants to keep putting the same mask over their face all the time?
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I do. I just use mine and put it in the car. I let the heat, if there's any virus in it, the heat will evaporate, kill it.
yeah, but if you could get a clean one, I don't think it's a hard sell to convince us to get a clean mask. And that, every day we're gonna be going to the store buying toilet paper and masks, a box of masks.
Yeah.
And just people come over in your house, your guests come over, they're gonna have to wear a mask while they're sitting in your house.
I said, put your mask on, put your gloves on, put your footies on.
That's right.
No feet.
That's right. Whatever you bought, whatever you got on you, you take it out with you when you
I don't care if you got your toes painted, cover them up.
Yeah.
Tell the ladies before they come in, I don't want to see your acrylic cover.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm sorry. Chat. We got into our zone and we didn't even really check y'all out. What's up, BGS? What's up, brother?
Oh, dang! I didn't even. Oh.
Yeah, we just we're doing a deep dive. What's up? Double C was riding with us today. Pro Style, CL. Okay, Devin Liggins, Devin regular, reigning woman, #1 support for a lot of positive channels in the manosphere. She's appreciated, and she's the reason why the show started late, because I was on her show last night. What's up, Jadzilla? Jadzilla the Beast. I was peeking in on what they were talking about on Zero's channel and Kuda. Brother Kuda, I was checking his stuff out a little bit. Great Britain, what's up? Anti-Gravity is a cool brother right there. This smart young brother. If you want to really be inspired about the younger generation, in their 20s, y'all need to have a chat with Anti-Gravity. That the future is bright. We're gonna be all right. Rael, brother.
Rael, what's up, Rael?
Art New Style, what's happening? Yeah, I'm always running Art New Style. I hang out on his channel too, so if I'm late for something in the morning, blame that brother too. Blame him, it's his fault. Ill Wills, What's happening? Of course, brother BGS.
I'm giving shout outs now because I don't have I didn't have the screen up. I didn't know. I thought we were just doing it and you were gonna post it. I didn't know we were
Oh,
live.
you didn't know we were live?
No.
Oh man. Oh man. Okay.
I mean, but it don't. I remember I said I was okay either way. Either or. I
Yeah.
would if I had known, I would have looked in the chat and gave people shout outs, but I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I meant to do it, but then we just kind of got off into our thing, you know. And see, I'm a drop the link if anybody wanna got something they want to add about these markets or whatever. Let me see. And if not, we're gonna roll up on out of here. But cause I want to stick. I'm gonna stick to my word. I said I'm gonna do that marijuana thing today. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drop the link.
Oh, somebody mentioned another good biotech. I saw in the chat VXRT. I was looking at that, but I never bought it. But
Okay, you want to let me check it out then. Let me see.
it's made some good moves since January. From from where it was to January till it is now, it's
Let me
made some
get it.
good movement.
You said VXRT,
Yeah, it's
like X, like X-ray,
yeah.
XRT. And let me switch my screen. I tell you, this thing been going sideways for a while. Okay. Always go out to the bigger views. Get the
Right.
bird's eye view. See what you working with. See just how long this thing been in decline. This thing's been declining since 2010. 2010. Good Lord. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. We were just in the biggest bull market in the history of man, and this thing couldn't
Wow.
participate in it. What's
Look at
wrong
that.
with them?
Look at that red candlestick.
Yeah,
Wow.
what's
That's
up with them?
humongous. That's humongous.
I mean, this stock couldn't get no love in the bull market of the ages, and it still made a lower low. It came all the way down and made a lower low. So what's their story? Will you know anything about them?
I think they're working on a vaccine or something like that. I never really followed them too much because I had other stuff that I liked, so I just stuck with what where I was already at.
So this is one that will qualify as just a trade, right?
Yeah.
Just a trade. And we can take flyers. We do it for the money. But let me see. I want to go down to the daily. Um, I'm not really sure that this pullback is over. It looks like it's got some more to go. See how much it holds. See how it holds. If it holds,
Yeah.
you know. Let me look at it on the weekly too. Yeah, it's overbought on the weekly, the daily, and not quite the monthly, but the weekly and the daily. So it needs to have a haircut. This is the it's never been this low. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the all-time low for this as far as this stock goes. And again,
Right.
this thing is a piece of shit. Okay, there's no one. I don't even have to know what they do. If you couldn't make any money in the bull market, the end all bull markets, so this would just have to qualify as a trade. But if it bottoms, if this low holds as a trade, uh, I would feel good about getting in near this bottom where I could put a stop loss on it. At a point where I'd have to wait for this thing to start moving sideways, and break out. Like do its little zigzag pattern, come down, find the bottom, break above break the rule of lower lows and start making higher highs. And right when that first candlestick happens, where it starts going up, I would get in it and I put my stop loss right below the low of the candlestick that started going higher. So I would minimize my chance of losing money to like pennies, okay?
Yeah. What do
And
you
then
what
I would ride it.
What do you think about the gold miners? Somebody mentioned that in the chat too. I guess I could look at that for another time.
No, I wouldn't buy gold right now, or gold miners, or gold with your money.
Oh, okay.
I'm I am not a gold bug. I'm gonna show you too. I was gonna do a video on it, but maybe I'll just ruin the fun right now. I'll just blow. This is Let's run through some stuff. This is our gold versus the U.S. dollar. Okay. Let me put it on the monthly. Okay. The big question is gonna be. The question is this thing going higher right here? I don't think it's gonna make a little new high. I think this thing gonna die. All right. But now my opinion on this is I'm in the minority opinion on this. Okay. I'm the only I don't really know too many other technical traders that agree with me on this. All right. Um the only thing I could find which reinforces my opinion is the largest or gold company, I'm sorry, in America, one of the largest in the world, Barrick Gold. Um, Let me look at it over here. Let me just need to need to confirm where they are in terms of market cap. Let's come over here with gold and silver ores. Let's see who's running the show over here. Or I could have just did market cap. I'm gonna do that. Or I could sort it. Same difference. Oh, Newmont. Okay. Well, these are the big two. You can see how the numbers drops off in terms of market cap. The big dogs in the gold world is Newmont mining and gold. Now I'm gonna look at both of these. I haven't looked at Newmont, but this one I have looked at. Another big player in the game of gold, which controls how it looks, is that ETF GLD.
Oh, okay.
Now, but GLD it looks pretty similar to the forex symbol gold versus the dollar. So, but let me go back to let me look at Newmont. I never looked at this one. But, oh, it looks pretty similar to nope, monthly art. This is weird. I don't know what to make of that. This looks way aberrant. But no, it's good price action there. It's the real deal. This is from 1987. This is odd because all of the other gold stocks, their high was more recent, not in the 80s. So I'm gonna have to set this one aside. I have to look into why that is. Did they merge with some other? Did they buy some other company or something? Or why did Newmont have a high back in the daggone 80s? Okay, and you look at um, gold versus the dollar, and the high was more recent, not in the daggone 80s. Okay, so I don't know I don't know what's up with Newmont. So I'm gonna leave that alone. So this is gold, you know. So in my opinion,
Looks like a double top.
I don't think this is I don't think this is all the way forward. This looks like it could be, but I don't think so. I know we're overbought. I think we're coming lower. In fact, I'm not even sure that that this is wave 4. Kind of leaning toward the opinion that this is actually a wave 3.
Yeah.
This whole
1,
thing,
2, 3.
that all of this, like a wave 3 guy has a funky middle section. All of this is like a wave 3, and that this is like a big ABC pattern for wave 4. I think this is really kind of, but we'll see. But
So you see, do you think it's a double top right there?
if that's what people will call it, if it runs a little higher, But I would see this as a A, B, and a C wave coming. And
okay, I got you.
But let me go look at what really emboldens me. The price rising this high instead of a traditional 50% retrace is what's confusing everything. It kind of takes it for some people, for a lot of technical traders, it takes it out of the realm of a retracement move, and they see this as the beginning of a new bullish run. And so that's the disconnect between, I would say, me and the majority. The majority seems to have the opinion that this started a new bull run.
I got you.
And I'm of the opinion, no, it's just an extended B wave, and this thing is gonna die. But we'll see. But here's the deal. I want you to look at Barrick. And Barrick looks like a traditional Elliott wave theory counter trend movement. Look, it looks like it's supposed to look. It didn't, and we saw on that chart by market cap, Barrick and Newmont are the market cap leaders in the gold space. Okay, and Newmont we threw out because that chart got a spike all-time high back in 1987, and that makes no sense. So as far as individual companies, I would say I'm treating Barrick like the Exxon. The way I would treat Exxon when I'm looking at oil stocks is I treat Barrick that way when I'm looking at gold. And this thing is done. It's ready to roll over. At most it might get to the 50% retrace line right here, and it's gonna roll over. That's my view. And then let's look at the volume on this. Got good volume. But let's look at the ETF that shorts it. The bearish ETF.
Dust. Yeah.
Okay, we're looking at the monthly chart. Okay, so it's not overbought yet on the monthly. Let's go down to the weekly. And it's getting there, almost there on. This is not correct.
Okay.
This gap didn't happen. What happened is they had a reverse stock split, and this site did not update their data. So we're gonna go over here. So that's why you gotta look on different cycle. You could see now, I'm sitting up here.
Oh God,
I want to be excited. I'm like, I want to be excited, but I know this is wrong. I would love to think that they did that it gapped up there like that, but not yet.
Yeah, I can't stand reverse splits.
Clarification for people watching: reverse splits, you don't make any more money with a split or reverse split. That's just the company's playing a price psychology game. It's like that same science that makes stores charge $9.99 for an item instead of telling you it costs $10, because you'll think it's cheaper just by it being a penny less. Or if a stock costs $1,000, people will buy 10 shares of something that costs $100 before they buy one share of something that costs $1,000.
Yeah,
it's people are that way, and so because they know that people are that way, when a stock like Apple has had stock splits, when the price reached a certain level, they know that people are not going to buy it. I remember when my Apple got up to like was it $100 or $200, and so they wanted it to say $50 instead of 1 or 200, so that the average Joe Blow would see it as affordable at 50. So if you owned, let's say they cut the price. Let's just keep the math simple. If it was $100 and they wanted to say $50, uh, they doubled your shares but cut the price in half. So you still got the same amount. When you multiply the shares you own times the price, you still end up having the same value. So it's
unless you buy a penny stock and they do a reverse split, because a lot of times they have a lot of authorized shares in common shares, and then make the value go down along with your share, along with the amount of shares you have.
Wow. Okay, let's check this out. This is what DUST is looking at, but the dollar has some more, a little bit more volatility left in it. The dollar versus the Swiss franc, and it's finding a bottom. When it does, that's what's going to signal the death of gold, and that's also going to fuel the rise in drip as oil falls. So, good news, bad news. So we got the consumer staples, like I said, that they're going to separate from, I believe, it's my opinion, we'll see when we get there. I believe the consumer staples are going to separate from the other industries in this market, that while other industries and the index at large is going to be going down, a certain stocks, this consumer staple space is going to start to rise. Okay. And so, and included in that is your drugs, your pharmaceuticals. Okay. The same thing is going to happen as gold. So when those pharmaceuticals, those things that participated in the decline in the first wave down, when they start going up, gold is going to take their place. I believe joining the ride down. I think gold is going to take this ride down in this wave that we've just started. I think gold is going to join that party, and a lot of people are going to get shaken out of that gold trade. And this is going to be one of the spots. And it's beating it. This is the ugliest bear market ETF of all of them. There's no worse looking chart than this one. They just did a reverse split because they had to dig this price out the toilet. It fell down to like $1.30. So they had to make it look better than that. They put lipstick on this pig, and now the low is $29.98. They're playing this price psychology game. Okay.
Yeah, because some of these ETF, if they're below $5, some of the hedge funds can't buy them.
They can't buy it, right? They can't buy it. So now they can. If that was hindering them, they can. So this is the all-time low for this daggone thing, and but still to go back up to this high is $1,200. A lot of money in this. So we'll see how it and you see, I'm not not alone. You see some green up in here. There's some volume here, so I'm not the only one. Let me take a look at the options market for this options prices. All right, keep your mind right, y'all. This goes up when gold goes down. So, now in the options market, a call is a bet that the price of the thing, in this case, this ETF from hell, is going to go up. Put is a quote bet that it will go down. And this options contract expires the 8th. That would be this Friday coming. And what we're looking for is the ratio of puts to calls. We're measuring how many people are betting that this symbol will go down versus how many people are betting that it will go up. Because a lot of times, big money, they like to kind of hide what they intend to do by buying options. And you can come look at the put call ratio to get a little tip of what they're doing. Anything higher than a put, okay, you're measuring the puts relative to the calls. And anything higher than zero 0.8, 80%. Think the 80-20 rule. Okay. When the puts rise to the level of being 80% of the calls, that's the danger line. It shouldn't that's excessive. Now over that is really problematic. Now the fact that this put call ratio is 0.01, not zero 0.8. It's zero. So this is over the top enthusiasm for the call side, betting that this thing goes higher. Look at how many people are betting that it goes higher versus how many people betting that it's going to go lower. Now this is data for yesterday, that closed yesterday. Now, so there's two things. There's the activity. Let me rephrase that. This is for Friday's trading, just for that one day. Okay, they counted up everything that was traded on Friday, yesterday, and the calls swamped the puts. Now, after the market ended on Friday, yesterday, this is what was still on the books, meaning these contracts have not expired, and this is money sitting in the on the books in the account for future weeks that haven't expired, and the calls still outweigh the puts. So the calls mean that they're betting that this symbol goes up, which goes up when gold goes down. Okay.
All right.
So I am getting some love in the options market. They telling me that I'm not completely absurd. Okay. I'm not completely out of my mind. All right. So that's
I should have bought that. I should have bought that Moderna options for $30 on.
Yeah, I am. I know just the bare minimum about options, but I do know that technical analysis is a great help to people that are trading options. It help you because the options, uh, because options have an expiration. By definition, they are a wasting asset. So you have to time options purchases pretty perfectly. You have to know um, that the price not only is going to go up or down, it's going to go up or down within this time window. So that's a whole nother level of badass if you're an options trader. So don't even get into options until you can at least master technical analysis when you're dealing with stocks and Forex and stuff. But the next level of game is to go into the options market because you can make 500%, 1,000%, 30. I mean, the kitty money in the options market is like 25, 30% a day. A day.
Damn.
That's just the kitty money. All right. So, and so you can,
I gotta learn that.
Yeah, you got to get this. You got to really, really master your chart game, and then the next level of game is to get that money in that options market. There are people who have strategies in the options market. They just go in and try to make the safe money. They go and try to make that 25, 30% a day. They might take 5 or 10 grand, and they make that 25% a day, and that's how they live. That's their life.
I might do that on DraftKings.
Well, now you can paper trade the stuff. Now that's the move. So you take these things you learn it on my channel and paper trade it, and just keep paper trading it until you get better. But I say stick with what you're doing now until you really master that.
Okay. Yeah.
And don't try to learn it all because it's just so much to learn, and you don't want to be the jack of all trades and master of none. I mean, any like
Yeah.
one strategy can feed you. I mean, one strategy can make you rich if you just master that one thing, and just not get bored. As you serve 1 billion like McDonald's. That's the thing. That's what gets us. I mean, I'm paper trading in the futures market. I'm trying to move in that direction, and I'm doing stupid stuff because I'll have a perfect setup and I'll make $10,000 in about 20 minutes. And instead of me I mean, we're taught that you're supposed to just go sit your ass down. You're supposed
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
exit the trade and go on with life and do something else. But I'll just keep messing around with it and just lose most of it. It's like that's called over trading. So I'm not going to leave the paper trading space until I can get that out of my system. It's like the better you get, the winning gets so easy that you get arrogant and you start thinking you can do it again. No, you need to sit down and then come back tomorrow and eat again tomorrow and then turn it off. I mean, the whole point of practicing all of this is so you can go in, take a bite, get a nice a plate at the buffet, go sit down and eat. You don't need that second plate. All you can eat, we take that literally. No, you ain't supposed to try to actually do it. You're supposed to get a nice plate, go sit your ass down. So
Yeah.
that's the struggle with trading.
Yeah. Because I stayed up 3 nights ago. I stayed up late because I couldn't find anything that wasn't overbought. So that's how I came up with that oil company. Which the only reason I bought that was because they have a credit facility, and I was thinking like when oil crashes, they can make acquisitions.
Right.
And they have a good balance sheet. That's what I wasn't thinking as like oil. I was thinking like, acquisitions, but I probably bought that one too early.
So
And then, huh?
I'm sorry. I added somebody to the stream. Let's see.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm sorry. Finish your story.
Oh, and then I looked at some little dirty trades with those two earlier, that tech company and then that biotech company with the test kit thing. I'm gonna sell that next week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, you gave up a lot of good things for people to keep their eye on, and we got CL. What's happening, CL?
Good, fellas. Thank you guys for
Hey, what's
coming
going
on.
on?
All right, Mr. Matty Ghost. Nice to meet you, sir. Liking the show here. Just wanted to chime in, and I had been looking for you, Mr. Will, for a minute. I heard you earlier speaking about you're being so busy trading that you're not able to do a lot of uploads and things of that nature. And I'm kind of the same way. I was really, I was like, yeah, I'm the same. I actually need to look into my medicinal plants. The cannabis, so forth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that chart today. I want to put it
Yeah.
in its own
Yeah.
looking at it myself, and I don't know. Maybe we can share some notes on that because I'm looking at a few. I don't know which ones you had there. I know you were.
I'm probably just going to look. I mean, it don't. Hey, if we're redundant, be redundant. I'm going to look at. Of course, I'm going to start with canopy growth. That's the lead sled dog in the space.
Mhm.
But the only one I looked at so far was the person in my comment section wants me to do one on Aurora cannabis, and that chart, it's man, they took that thing out to the woodshed. They beat it like what they did, like a redheaded stepchild. I can't see it really going too much lower, and it's looking like this is the time.
It really is. It's looking like the time, man. It's questionable right now. I'm keeping my eyes on it closely. Myself here, trying to see if this guy actually gonna make that good pop. And of course, with volume, I'm looking at the volume. I'm a technical trader myself, and so I can appreciate what you're doing. And I seen a few of the ones that you were pointing out with Mr. Matty Ghost.
Yeah.
One of where it was a hit and quit moment. I think I made a comment on. I was like, oh yeah, the volume look. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. It was one. But yeah, the cannabis. Now you were also leaving off what you were with, which is on the gold side. I actually am as well. On with you now only because I'm technical, and overall my deal is I'm gonna go with the overall is a buy in the regards, but when is that gonna take place? My guesstimation, I'm looking at it to get back down to the 1500 even. I don't know why I make that suggestion. I mean, I'm hoping that it doesn't go down that far, but I was looking at almost 1500 even uh, for it to go down to that point.
Yeah,
But
I think right. I try to. I'm trying now. I'll say one benefit of among many benefits of me doing Patreon is making me a more disciplined trader because when I'm just trading on my own, I can break all kinds of rules. But I'm like, I find myself saying, you know what? You done told them that
yeah, you got to be more
told them folks
conservative,
that you
and
can't do this.
you're thinking about other people at that moment.
Right. So I'm like really trying to follow the rules now in a way that I really was not as disciplined before I started teaching. They say that's still how you really know that you're learning something when you can teach it. I kind of hear myself telling them, no, don't do this and that, and I catch myself doing it. I was like, no, you can't do that. And so I remind myself to trade the structure. I'm an Elliott wave theory trader, and so our prices go 5 waves up, 3 waves down, and so I'm waiting to see that structure of the 3 waves in the counter trend move, and so as those waves are created, then I'm able to make a projection about a better projection about where that bottom is, and so I'm fighting against making like a
Stop buying
preliminary
stuff.
call on like how low something.
Yeah, and I agree. It's a lot of. I'm not familiar with the options as well, but you do have even more insight than myself on that options. But being a technical trader, chart reader, that's something I wouldn't mind learning. But the gold mining, I actually picked a few gold mining companies um, outside. I'm not sure because you're speaking on a lot of fundamentals. You're way more knowledgeable about fundamentals than myself. I'm only a chart reader. My technicals is pretty much brought me there, uh, but the gold mining, I kind of looked into those a little bit. I see a few of them that interest me, but outside of gold, yes. The question is my question was, it's going to get up to the 23, 100. Someone's going to get over the 1700. And one guy asked me, and I said, well, kind of like going all the way back down before it starts to make its move up.
I will say, well, first, I'm not really dealing so much with the fundamentals either. I'm just, looking at, the
Right.
charts.
No, you still know more fundamentals than I do. But I'm saying.
Oh, well, thank you, brother. But yeah. So what in the near term, it's all about the dollar. The dollar is the safe haven, not gold. That's my biggest beef with this meme that's going around that gold is safe and you should be buying gold. No, the safe haven. I know the chart doesn't look great, and I keep referencing the dollar. I think I'm gonna have to throw up a chart, but the dollar is the safe haven.
And see, I'm not familiar with when someone says you should buy gold or in that rim because I'm not, well off in that regard. So uh, when it comes to 1600s on the gold spot, yeah, things like silver, but I don't even see silver. I see silver. I don't know what silver is. That silver looks like it's having some serious issues. But when it comes to gold, when it comes to hard tangible, um, maybe are they speaking about that particularly buying a physical gold versus the paper gold?
Different groups are saying different things. If you're talking about the preppers, the end of the world crowd, they're talking about buying physical gold.
Okay.
And so, and I don't trade in that. So their argument is physical gold in their markets, in their world, that that it trades at a different price than what we're seeing on these charts.
Yeah.
And because I'm not over in that world, I'm not going to argue that at all. And I'm not a doomsdayer where I think that the currency, the fiat currency, is in danger, and I have to go with the time tested currency of gold. I'm not. I don't buy that. I believe the markets will. Fiat currency system works just fine. Okay, although it's not. Well, it's real. It's real money because we accept it. It's real. Everybody you hand that dollar to accepts it, and as long as we accept it, it's real.
I agree. Yeah, I had bought some silver, hard silver, and it was, $20, 18 with the premiums, and so $20. And the the paper, it actually went down to $10, $11. To $11, and you still wasn't able to go to an exchange and purchase silver for $11 at that time. So it that kind of told me it's still holding its value, or it seems that the exchange companies are going to double the premiums to keep it at those numbers, regardless of what the paper is doing in that regard. So that kind of gave me one little, something back in my mind. So okay, they're not really. And just like with the oil here, we seen it go below to what, -36, -$40,
Right.
and but at the same time, you can't go into go get the oil at those prices. They still gonna hold it, I think, up to like 20, maybe $20 a barrel, 30, $40 a barrel, maybe somewhere in there.
Man, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I tell you one thing about gold. The thing that has actually outperformed gold is palladium.
I heard about that. I didn't take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a chart set up now.
Yeah, what's the actual symbol for that?
PALL.
Mm.
And this is actually outperformed gold.
I heard about it. I didn't take a look into it. I actually.
And this thing is, it looks in trouble. So
does it? Okay.
So it's kind of related to what I said about stocks trading like their industry, and gold is a metal. It's just another metal. It's precious metal, okay, but at the end of the day, its value is relative to the dollar, and it's polar opposite basically to the dollar. Okay, so they're inversely correlated, and this thing has had a tremendous run, and gold has to have a correction, just like the stock market and the price of your house. Nothing is exempt from the natural law that what goes up must come down. No matter how much the government tries to manipulate markets. I'm betting on the environment. It's man versus nature. I'm betting on nature.
And that brings me over to the other one, the oil. When we're talking about storing it, I mean, it's a great time now for a lot of people, because this is something that obviously hadn't happened in no one's history when it comes to this here. So we even looked at it. I'm sure. I mean, a lot of people that I even look at, they were questioning, okay, what happens now? Oil is below zero. And so it's something new for us, because we haven't never seen it go below zero. But the tankers, my deal is, it seems like we may be running out of space to cover oil for the excess of oil.
Oh, ain't no maybe. We definitely have run out of space.
What about these tankers? I don't want to lose you guys. If I do, I'll get right back online. But actually in the chat, I made 3 names on oil tankers, and I was looking at
what you got? Which one?
Future,
Give me one.
let me pull up the.
Now, I'll say that when this whole thing is over, like, when the economy, I'm not gonna say when the economy, when the markets are bottom, specifically oil. I'm waiting on that moment when the dollar finishes its run higher, which I think I'm in a rare camp that believes that the high you see on your chart for like year 2016 in the US dollar, say versus the Swiss franc, that is not the high. We're going significantly higher than that. We'll see about old crazy dollar. I say a lot of wild stuff that has a tendency to turn true. Okay,
Yeah.
so the dollar is going to go higher, and when it gets where it's going,
Yeah.
oil. Think Beverly Hillbillies. If you're a certain age, you grew up watching Jed Clampett. Strike oil and move from the hillbilly to Beverly Hills. Okay, and we're gonna get a chance to do that with oil. And my other favorite is those daggone, um, I'll say shipping stocks in general,
Mm.
and oil shippers in particular. When this economy gets going again, intercontinental trade, ocean transportation of goods is, of course, going to have that. And we have shipping companies, transatlantic or transocean, and not that company in particular, but oceanic shippers are trading like penny stocks right now. They're in the toilet. These are companies like that have money and contracts, but they're trading like penny stocks.
Not to cut you off, I didn't want to all the way up at the top of the chat. I'm not able to see it, but I made three names on. I don't know if anybody able to pull that up, or I
Oh,
can. I'm on my phone, so if I can skip off for a
yeah.
second, make sure I don't lose you guys. I'm gonna jump right back on and pull up those three names of oil tankers that I was looking
Just
at.
give me one so I don't have to look for it. Just give me a
Yeah,
symbol.
give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. It
Yeah, I'm, I'm looking. Hold on.
TK,
Oh,
TN,
TK?
STNG, and EQM.
Okay, I'm sorry. What was the first one?
TNK.
Okay, that one I think I'm familiar with that one.
Then I got a
TK, yeah, TK.
Oh, yeah.
STNG.
Okay, I'm not. Maddie, can you write those down, please?
Okay, yeah. He said
And,
STNG.
and then a EQM.
And just write those because first we want to see what type of just to be sure, water transportation, shipping, and the marshal.
I got
Crude
right.
oil, okay. Crude oil, okay. All right. Then you start getting into things like the what is it? Baltic Dry Index and all this stuff. And you see the price that the shippers charge, and when that price starts rising, that's when these companies start making money, making more
Mm.
money.
Yeah, I remember this when I first started trading. That was one of the first tickers I pulled up when I was looking for oil.
So yeah, they are charging these oil companies to store this tag on oil. So
Mm,
they making money on the storage. I like
mm.
to go to the quarterly, get a context of what's going on. But yeah, this thing looks like round in here.
Yeah,
I don't think that the downturn and even this is necessarily over, but we might be able to catch a move. But
yeah.
I'd rather wait until I'm sticking with drip. I'm just gonna short the space via drip, and I'm not gonna get any fancier than that. And I'm gonna wait until the final, what I think is the final bottom for the whole space. Because even this one, I'm looking at a monthly chart, and it's overbought on a monthly chart. I don't want to try to catch a fall on a knife and bet that this thing rises. No, the play is to short it. It's to short everything related to oil. I don't want to try to overthink it. Oil is going down. I'm gonna keep it simple.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But this is one, the oil tankers in general, or ocean shippers. That's a play that you won't hear people talk about on television, but you can't have uh, intercontinental trade without ocean transportation. You know, they're not putting the automobiles on airplanes. Okay. Okay. Those foreign cars we like to buy, they coming over here on a ship. Okay. Those bulk metals and things that we buy, you know, or that's needed. Stuff that's rated from Africa going to other parts of the world. It's being put on a ship.
Yeah.
Stuff we getting from China, you know, all that. It's a ship.
Yeah.
So when the macroeconomic engine cranks back up and starts growing, getting into growth mode again, the simplest thing is to buy ships, and they're like in the toilet. I mean, I'm surprised this one is as high. What's the other one out? My favorite one. I don't even think that they even trade. It's like dry ships. Did they fall off the daggone Yeah, see, no, don't even no answer for them. So I guess I don't even think they are. They got delisted or something. Or did they merge with somebody?
Dry ships. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think they're still trading. I'm not sure.
Let me see if I can find. Okay, water trans. Okay, ship. Let me see this. And let me look at. See, this is going to tell me. Now, when the price was real high, when oil was $147 a barrel, there were a lot of these companies. But as that price started coming down, a lot of these companies went out of business. They just totally got destroyed. And so remember, again, back to a point I made earlier, cheap can always get cheaper. Okay? Right to the point of bankruptcy. So don't play that game. So this company was not a market cap leader. This was like a smaller company. Now it's the damn leader. I remember this one. So that means that there's more money invested, more money up the stock. If you add up the value of all the stocks that people like you and I, all the money that we spent buying the stock of a company, that's called market cap. And so this company has attracted more investment dollars in terms of people buying stock than any other shipper. And Frontier is another big name that's been around a while that I have owned in the past. Okay, so I just want to look at this.
He had mentioned STNG and I think EQM.
Oh, okay, it's STNG. I saw that just now.
Yeah.
Okay, I bet you that these things have had reverse stock splits. They used to be under way in the toilet.
Probably.
They propped this thing up, to make it look better.
Yeah.
A lot of these, I'm saying, they propped up. So yeah, well, we're getting near.
It goes down to that double bottom, maybe.
Maybe we want to revisit this area here. That'd be like $20, and the high was 120. So yeah, at the end of this whole correction, air quotes, gold and tankers. That's where I'm going to live, and that's where we can. I don't want to hear nothing about no buy and hold and dollar cost averaging and none of that silly crap until we get to these kinds of levels down here. Then you don't overthink it. Now you just start putting money in there automatically. Don't think about it. Just buy stock every week, and do that. Have it in your mind that you're going to be doing that for the next decade. But we're not at that point yet. And I hear people talking now as though we're at that point. That's not where we are in the game. I mean, this decline just started February 20th, and we're talking about 2 months. People act like this thing is over in 60 days. I mean, what? We can't even get a full season, and people acting like it's over. No. This thing was moving up for 11 years, and people after 2 months are acting. They want to party and start buying again. But let me take a look at the U.S. dollar. I want to look at on this one, and then we're gonna wind this down. So, yeah, I got some other people here that love money. I never thought I could have a daggone chat this long about stock price, y'all. Okay, so what's the deal with the dollar? Basically, you see one big, huge sideways move. All right, and we're looking at a weekly chart. This high here is from the year 2000, and it's kind of got a ghost image here that goes all the way back to like 1971. This is around the general area where we came off the gold standard, and the dollar's bias is to fall. Okay, it's to fall. That's what it's made to do. It's made to fall, and the value of the dollar as it declines, things like the euro is inversely related to it. So the euro rises, okay, and then your gold rises, your metal rises, and you got gold and metal and other materials like that in your house. That's why your house rises, okay. That's why your house rises, because the value of the dollar declines. It makes the value of the materials in your house increase, which causes the price of your house to increase. You have to pay for that increase cost of materials when they build that house. It gets passed on to you, and so then you have to pay more for it, to pay for the fact that the steel and aluminum and the metals, the wood, all of that stuff is tied to this function of the dollar losing value. Those things gain values, but every once in a while the dollar does a counter trend movement and gains value, which causes those things to go down. And we're in one of those moments again right here, and we're not done with it. Okay, so that's the short of it, of what's going on. So the general rule: yes, the dollar goes down and your house price goes up and gold goes up. Yes, generally that's true, but there are periods of exceptions to that rule, and we're in one of those exceptional periods right now. So, but these exceptional periods can last a long time. On here, it lasted from 1979 to 86. Okay, so that's about 7 years of the exception to the rule. You got 1995 to year 2000, about 5 years of the exception to the rule. From here to here, like 19, this is the low 80s. Let's say 82, 83. Gold traded sideways pretty much. Nobody cared about gold from the early 80s to this period right here. And this is the dollar right here. I know I'm looking at the dollar, but the point is, when the dollar goes down, gold goes up in inverse. So when the dollar hit this high right here in 2000, this was after the .com implosion. Okay, the .com thing. When the dollar fell and gold took off, nobody cared about gold until the dollar did this dive, and gold got its party on. Okay, and oil went up to $147 during this time, since that value moved from the dollar to oil and gold. And then dollar hit a bottom in year 2011, and we've never been back down to it. And we're going higher. We're going to revisit this area here from this is my opinion, from year 2008. We're going to attack this level. When we get up to about that level, then it's going to die. It's going to finish dying. And I'm not touching no Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is quoted relative to the dollar, and since I'm bullish the dollar, and let me just zoom in on this sideways part. We got a double bottom right here. This is from February of 2018, and you can look at the low right here, 91.88, and then we hit it again in March 9th of this year, and we hit 21.93. So that's a double bottom. All technical eyes are on this high right here, between this one of the two highs. When we exceed the high point between the two lows, that's confirmation of reversal. So we don't really have confirmation yet. We just have me and my long-term thesis and me cheerleading for it. I could be wrong. We'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna continue riding with Elliott wave theory until it proves me wrong. So we got this high, and then we got a high here from 2007, and the world will come to my side. My way of seeing things, when this dollar rises and takes out these two highs, and we make a higher high right here, then their perspective will change to see that we are continuing the uptrend that started in 2011. And then when they see that big chart of oil, how long it's been falling, how long like gold decline started in 2011 also, it'll finally make sense to everybody that all those rallies in oil and gold have been sucker moves while the dollar was going sideways. It's all about the dollar. This is the safe haven, and the world is going to back that up when it runs here. But for now, it's got a little settling to do. It's a little, and this is on the weekly chart. It could turn around and go up a little bit, but it's still trying to find. On the daily chart, it's fighting to find the bottom. We broke out of to the wrong side, for my liking, but we had a triangle pattern here this week, and it broke out. And so the dollar is struggling to find a bottom. So it broke out of this symmetrical triangle to the downside, and we got declining volume. But this is that low. This is that low of that double bottom, that second leg of it. And I'm of the opinion this is going to hold. Now, if it goes lower than this, I got to change. I gotta. That's gonna put my master thesis in question, But I ain't giving it up that easy. So I'm gonna ride with it. I think it's going to find the bottom. I don't know if this low here is going to hold. That I'm not sure of. We might get a double bottom right here. So I'm not sure. But or we could get a retest up to this line and then finish off the run, and wherever we end. And by that time, we should be suitably oversold. And if we get oversold, we were oversold here. We get oversold here, and we do not make a lower low, then that will be bullish, because let's say the price stops here. So we got oversold, overbought, oversold, and a higher low. Let's say we end here, and we get a higher low. Then that's a bullish move. That's a bullish indication, and it'll be at that run that we make. We go and tack these highs. Now, while we're making this, let's say completing this sell-off to find the bottom. Let's say it does end in this area, like I'm saying. The question will be, while it's doing this, what does gold do? Does gold make a higher high? because if this situation where gold can run. If
I don't mean to interrupt you, but somebody in the chat asked if you have Cash App.
oh, hey man, yeah, I break for money. I love money. I'm a. Let me explain. I'm a Pan Africanist,
Yeah.
pro-black capitalist. All right,
Oh, yeah.
make all that work. Okay, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win capitalism. I'm not saying capitalism is fair or equal or none of that stuff. But I'm saying we can win it though. Let me
Yeah.
do it.
He wants your Cash App, Dollar Will.
Okay,
In the chat. I don't know what it is.
You take a look in the section, the comment section below the video and see if it's there. I may have pasted it there. You see it there?
No, you didn't put it in there. You have your Patreon, but you don't have your.
I'm sorry. I don't have a Cash App. I have a PayPal. You see a PayPal in there? Near the top.
Let me see.
It should be a PayPal in there near the top.
It doesn't show your PayPal written on the description box. It shows your Patreon. Your Patreon's written in there, but it doesn't show your PayPal.
Okay, well, give me a second. I gotta get to it. I've only had one person do that, so I don't have that off the top of my head like that. Y'all, expert in the receivables department. Y'all can just write that thing off. Y'all got a quick key where y'all can drop that link.
I think I can put let me see. I know I dropped the link for your Patreon. Let me see.
But let me finish this. Right. Where was I about this gold? So the whole deal is while the dollar is finishing its move, it's got to get oversold. While it's doing that, that's the window for gold to take a final push. Now, if it can't make a higher high while the dollar is still trying to get up off its knees, then gold don't stand a chance once this thing start going north. Okay, once it gets where it's going, and that's the point where I'm saying gold gonna die as the dollar makes the push to this higher high. That's gonna send. It's gonna prove. Gold is gonna pop its collar. It's gonna flex and prove to everybody that it is the safe haven and not gold. And one more thing on that note, and I'm gonna be done with the charts. I want to look at this TLT. This is the bond bubble that you hear people talk.
Oh yeah.
A lot of folks around the world would run to U.S. bonds. This is like let's see, as the dollar was declining, the interest rate was declining too. On that big chart I just showed you in the dollar Swiss franc, the interest rate declines too over time. And so in the past, the interest rate was higher than it is today. And that old paper had a lifespan of this symbol represents paper with a lifespan of 20 and 30 years. And so this paper is paying an interest rate of that's higher than the current bonds being issued. So these bonds paying that higher interest rate is in global demand. Okay, so the big question now, this is debt that America has to pay. Okay, so it's like there's been concern about what is America going to do? One, how long is this thing going? How long is this trend going to continue? Okay, so this trend started in, I can't see this crap. This is actually it started in the low 80s. This data here for this, we didn't have ETFs back then. This is an ETF. So we didn't have ETFs in the early 80s. So this trend has been going a long time, but it's rolling over. Okay, this thing is rolling over. So this thing is going to die.
It really does look like a right up in this area, and it seems that 179 was the resistance area. I totally agree. It seems like it's getting ready to turn over.
Oh yeah. And look at this. I went to a weekly chart. This is ugly. Okay, so you broke structure right here. with this big decline, and it doesn't look like we're going to make it up there. We got divergence on the oscillator, it's going down, and at the moment it's already flipped here. This fast line is flipped here, so you got momentum going down, and the price is you got a lower low on the current weekly candlestick relative to last week. This thing is dying. This is a picture of death. And you got momentum leaving it, like it knows the party is over. All right. So now, how do you make money off this? The TBT. You're gonna hear them talk about this on CNBC. They love this one. This is an ultra short 20-year treasury. This is old paper. Shorten that old paper.
Oh,
right?
boy. Wow.
All right. So this was the low. Let me make sure I got it all right. This is the low. So yeah, it's ugly, but you're close to the bottom, so you're safe. This is like jumping off the porch as opposed to jumping off the roof. Okay, you could survive. All right. So this is 1451. That's the low here, and this low is 1475. So we got a higher low, and this candlestick here has already made a higher high. We're looking at the weekly chart. This thing ready. This is pretty. This is the one. March 9th was what's the low? So this is gonna work.
He's the bottom. Definitely is getting there. Should be close to.
Yeah, I like this one. This is it. So yeah, this is the one. This is the one to watch. Like this got me when it broke out in this long sideways move. This really got me when it did this. But everybody should keep their eye on this one. See what happens. As that bomb bubble starts to burst. This is just shorting that. Betting let it go down.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens when it gets to this trend line. So yeah, this will make news. Okay. Okay.
When it does turn around and it gets to on its back up, going back up, it seems to me on that $78 is a good target mark to where the last real pullback happened at. So I'm not sure where the bottom will be at, but that upside of it looks to be around that $72, $78. I think. Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about on the TLT, the other one?
No, TBT. Once I mean I don't see the bottom, but I'm saying once it does start to show its head. You
talking about attacking this high right here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like 84 or something. But in the near term, confirmation, this guy get taken out. So this trend line got to be broken, and we got to go above this high. So
yeah, we break that. It's on. It's on.
It's on. Right. It's gonna be on. This is what we need to be watching. So they're trying. The government is trying to keep the party going with those long bonds, that long chart I showed you that was been running since the early 80s. They're trying to keep that thing up. Okay. They're trying to keep that thing rising. So they're trying to throw money at that. They're trying to buy it. So we'll see. We'll see if they can do it.
It's a great opportunity nowadays. I tell you that.
Right. I'm betting on nature. I'm betting on this. I'm betting that they can't hold it up.
I'm betting on getting my watch list refreshed.
Yeah. So for me, I like DUST. I like DRIP right now. I'm in DUST.
DRIP.
And DRIP, I'm going to be in. And I'm not in this yet. I need to really think about this one.
Okay, I got that on my side note in my notes.
Yeah, but look, if it drops below, if it comes back down here, if it goes below this, now it could make a double bottom. That would be hit this price exactly. But if it drops below this, all bets are off.
Oh, okay.
I'm out. Yeah, I ain't messing with it.
Put that to the side too.
You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, currently, right now, the volume is still strong to the downside. It just you got
So, but if you
different.
look since here, the volume is kind of leveled off.
Mhm.
But we don't have no positive. We don't have like a big.
Right.
So I think that would be the real tell too. A big candlestick, a big
Just
green candlestick showing that some big money came in.
Good point.
So that's what the volume traders. That's how they look at it. They
right.
wanna
That's
wanna
why I
see
go
that.
volumes because those are the big boys. So it's kind of like
Right.
everything that's retailers to me, and
Yeah.
try to find where the big boys are playing in at because they're the one that really moves the market.
Yeah. Like I'm aware that that's how a lot of people trade. But to be honest, I I put the volume chart up because it's logical to people. But in my personal trading, I will trade even if I don't see that volume there.
Okay.
If it's maintaining the structure of a higher low, I just put a stop loss in it and keep kicking. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yeah.
do it.
Because then, with that stop loss, if you're wrong, then you're protected.
Correct.
If you're right, you're already there. So
I'm already in, right? So when the volume comes, sometimes that's why I stopped. That's why I stopped being led by volume because I found that I would be right, but I'm waiting on the volume. Then the volume comes and the price get a big pop. And I'm like,
Mm.
why am I waiting on them? If I'm ahead of them, let me put my money in there and let them stack their money on top of mine.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
now, I got some protection, because they're not gonna let the price fall below where they got in. So now
Right.
they working for me. I stop being led by it. So I'll use volume as like a confirmation to like make me like really feel sure that I'm doing the right thing, but I don't use it as a trigger,
Okay. Okay.
you know. Let me so I will put that there and this. So it would be this trend line first, then it's got to break that, then it's got to get a higher high here. So it's got to do all these things sequentially. All right, and if it fails at any point, doesn't break this trend line, doesn't break this trend line, doesn't make a higher high. So these are like all places where I can abandon ship. You know.
you over here freestyling technical analysis talk.
Hey,
Look,
you got to keep
Look,
it in mind.
I don't even do this. I don't go this far on YouTube. Y'all getting a bonus today because we just
Yeah.
got into it and we started this thing around noon, and
Yeah.
it is three. This is the longest hangout on YouTube I've ever done. I had no idea I would be, that y'all would be riding like this. Good Lord. You
Yeah,
see what a little trauma will do. You put the rest of the money now, boy.
everybody paying attention. Everybody.
Yeah, give me the game, give me the game, give me the game. Everybody want it now.
Yeah.
But let me take this off, and I'm gonna go get that PayPal, and I'm gonna post it. So
I think I put it in the chat, right? I'm not sure.
that's it. You got
Okay.
it. Oh, so you saw it below one of my videos?
Yeah, I just went up because I already had PayPal written for somebody else, so I just figured I'd just put your last avatar name in, and it'll pop up.
Wow. Well, listen, the person that's going to going to gift me, say when you get there, I think there's a way to write in your message or whatever. Say if you want to be identified. Some people do want to be identified, some don't. And I just know that from watching other people say that. Like I said, I don't have no experience with this. Okay.
But in Dollar Will, you might want to get a Cash App because it's easier to use Cash App than PayPal. You could just go to your app and just put it in there, put your PIN, put the money in, and send it.
Okay.
So
Now
you might.
tell me, so PayPal that isn't PayPal also has an app. But I understand what you're saying. That's the one that people have embraced. The Cash App is the one that
What's the
people.
percentage on PayPal though? What are they versus the what is it 1% with Cash App? What is the PayPal?
1% for PayPal too.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay, so I
yeah.
mean,
See, and they
compete.
have an app also, but I think Cash App is the one that people
Because PayPal wasn't doing 1% initially at one time. I actually got with them at back in the days, and I had to leave them alone because they wasn't that 1% when Cash Out came out.
I mean, if the marketplace chooses a standard, Coke over Pepsi or VHS over Betamax, and you gotta conform to it. So I hear what you're saying, Matty. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
conform and get Cash App because
Yeah, because I got Cash App myself. It's easy.
And
I
then I
have
had
PayPal too, but I rarely use it.
yeah, the young cousin put me on Veem. Vim. Have you heard of that one? Vim.
No, that's a new one. That's a new one.
It's a video stream and it's a Cash App kind of transaction.
Oh, okay. I need to look into that.
And yeah, I think they did that pretty good.
So because if people perceive it as easier, it doesn't matter what the reality is,
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to argue that point, but
I had some ones out, if that I could definitely give to you guys that I was looking into. They were just in, of course, in the cannabis, the tankers, the one I just gave you there. But then I had some others just searches I pulled up and I was watching, keeping on my watch list, and of course the minings. I had a few pharmaceuticals and things of that nature too as well. Just kind of keeping my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have you looked at that Fura? I think that's how you say it.
Altria?
Yeah. Not Altria. It's Furia. APHA.
Never heard of it.
That's another cannabis.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off to my next video. I'm gonna take a little bit.
Yeah, because we need. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a
for allowing me on and having a moment. I definitely love to catch back up with you, and I'm gonna end up creating my cannabis content here myself, and just kind of seeing what the market is gonna do, because that seems like a very interesting for a lot of people. Seems like everybody's interested in buying into that, or is it a hype around it right now that's bringing in the cannabis?
I think it's both. I think it's hype. And
now it has moved recently. What do you feel about that right now? Is that the more of are we going to see a pullback the way it's, because in the past couple of weeks here they popped to the upside, and it's at a part right now. It seems like it's at a resistance level or a correction, but it still seems like it's still in a buyer's area. But at the same time,
I'm sorry. What are you talking about?
Cannabis.
In general, are you talking about the space in general, or okay, the space in general?
See, I'm not. All I do is read the charts, but I have put like MJ is one, CGC, TRLY. Of course,
there's a lot. It's a name. It's a space that has a lot of people interested. So it's got interest, but a lot of those stocks have been beaten down despite their interest. It's the Bitcoin. It's the Bitcoin of.
But they seem like they're correlating together, though.
They went up. They went up to the moon, and they got priced way out of reality because these companies are not making money yet, but they're priced like they are making money.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so the markets are irrational. That's just, they're irrational on both sides, on the way up and the way down. And so that's a part of it. So that's one part of what I think is going on. Another part of it is, I think the market is going to see, and when I do my show, I'm gonna test this. I think they're going to see cannabis as a sin stock. There's a category of stocks called sin stocks, and that's what you think it is, was what it sounds like it is. That's where your beer stocks, your condoms, they throw guns in there. And so in these types of big corrections like we're going through right now, guns and ammunition do well. for obvious reasons. Okay, right along with the staples. Okay, because you need those guns to protect those staples. All right. It's in this market will drive you to drink. Okay, so that alcohol and beverage stocks go up.
Yep.
Uh, and cigarette companies, they do well. Okay, and I think that the marketplace is going to have the same psychological response to marijuana as we have historically had with cigarettes and tobacco.
Now, my thing
Mm.
with the marijuana initially, when
But we'll see if the charts bear that out. But go ahead.
yeah, I made a prediction a couple months back, right? And I was people was asking me, and I said, okay, it still seems to be on the sales side. It still to be not a buy just yet. And this was about 4 months ago, and
Right.
it still has been in that situation. But what I added on to that was on the fundamentalist side of it. I looked at what are the distributions doing right now? Is this still a
Mhm.
black market for the cannabis? Are we still buying it from our buddies and friends and somebody personal versus going out and going to a dispensary? I mean, I knew at the time Chicago had a line wrapped around the corner because they opened up a new dispensaries and allowed it there. But that's what sparked the questions for a lot of people. And that, and I'm big on not watching too much TV based on this, is just hyping up things just like whatever Popeye's chicken or some silly stuff. But I looked at it, the black market is still needing it, wanting to the same transactions. Are we really moving in that direction now? Today, these past weeks, maybe a whole different story. But a few months ago, it seems that it wasn't urged for it to me.
Good
Well,
point.
let me. You said a lot there. Let me say
Hmm.
just from my this is my elbow opinion. Okay, just from the people I know, my friends on the street, just and those stuff. My friends, and I have these conversations with them. I know, lifelong weed smokers. Okay, and I asked them. I mean, I got friends that have medical prescriptions for it, and I have ones that don't, or ones that don't got to hook up. They can get it through that path, or they can get the prescription if they want it. But I find that a lot of people are still using the neighborhood hookup
Mm.
because they say that the medicinal quality is too strong. They're
Mm-hmm.
complaining that it gets
It's like
them too
high
fucked up.
premium.
Like they complaining, look, man, I gotta work, and they're saying that the government stuff is too strong, and that the stuff they get from their guy in the neighborhood is just mild, take the edge off, and they can still be productive. But that they say that the government stuff, man, lays them out.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's I never thought I'd see that, but the people want strength ratings on this stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah.
want some guidance, and they want proper dosage,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seems like everybody's still comfortable going to their, street person versus going out and saying, okay, let's go into this new store that's bringing it. But that's those are the fundamental sides of it. And of course, there's a lot more that goes with the growth of the dispensaries out in the
I say
primary.
that I would call that the anecdotal side too. Fundamental would be we got to look at the sales to see if these companies have earnings. Are they and then what's the growth rate of those earnings? Are the earnings growing fast enough for the business model to replicate itself in additional franchises and that kind of thing?
Mhm.
So that I would put that under for me. I would put that under the fundamental, and I'm not really doing that kind of research. I'm just
Right.
kind of spinning anecdotally, common sense and that kind of thing. My own sense of logic, and I'm not really that interested in looking to see about the sales and all that. If a headline crossed my mind, fine. But we know a lot of these companies are not making money. Okay, but we see on the chart that the price during its run up, went spiked, and for the people who participated in that run up, they made real money, despite the fact that the marijuana companies didn't make any money. So that's back to what I was saying earlier, that you don't want to overthink this. The market isn't as rational and logical as we want to try to make it. People will buy a rock. If you convince them it's a magic rock,
Yeah.
they'll buy stock in it.
Yeah.
And I'll be right there buying it with them, just like they buying it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna make some money off of that wave. I'm trying to get in right after they get in, and I'm trying to sell just before they do, and that's it.
That's what I'm doing with these biotech companies, because their valuations on the vaccine haven't come out yet, if they have a vaccine. So I'm just trying to make money on the speculation before they actually price all this stuff in. If they can find a vaccine and all that kind of stuff,
The same with Bitcoin and shitcoin. People say this is the future. I don't know if it's the future, but I know they're making money right now. So that's what I'm about. Who knows what's going to be.
I get in, get out on that, and on those waves, just like you were stating, it's not something I look for any kind of a long distance. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But to piggyback off the bio. And seeing a few of those charts from earlier, what Dollar Will was looking at, and he was like, man, some of these, because they didn't have enough data to them, that kind of brought a red flag to me, being that they didn't have as much data, and this is something that is still being ironed out. So I just look at it, being a little bit more cautious to that particular industry.
What's up, Money Mike? What's up, Money Mike? Yep.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Money Mike's in the room. Thank you, brother, for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's I'm gonna shut this down. I'm gonna get a little rest, and I am going to keep up with my promise. I'm gonna do that marijuana thing today. But man, I really didn't expect this thing to go 3 hours. Y'all gonna make me pay StreamYard.
Every time you support, man. I appreciate you inviting me up here too, man. You guys have a blessed day.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, thanks, Scott.
All right, peace.
But yeah, thank you, Matty Ghost, for blessing us with your insights as you comb the pennies, the couch money for opportunities.
Yeah, in and out, bro, in and out.
And when money is green, man, it doesn't matter. Your money doesn't spend any less because you bought penny stocks and somebody else bought Apple computer. It doesn't matter. There's everybody is winning at every level in this game, and there's all kinds of strategies, and you just have to master whatever it is, your strategy, and whatever it is, whatever your method is, you try to learn out there. For people listening, you got to stay true to the rules of whatever the strategy is you trying to use, and mind your business. All right, somebody else made a whole lot of money. They doing something different than you. That wasn't your turn to eat. Okay, just mind your business, do your thing, and be happy with that. And when you're ready, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I got some good insights as far as like oil and gold and that kind of thing with the ETFs. So I'll be looking to get in on those, that dust and that drip, and then I'll be looking at TBT.
Well, if this market declines like I think it's going to do, if we have blood this week, and there's a saying in the market, sell in May and go away, and if that it's set up to be one of those. It doesn't happen every May, okay? Most Mays it does, but not everyone. But the setup is for this to be a bloody May, and I think a lot of people gonna be, they're gonna be. I'm gonna get a lot of playbacks on this video about a week from now. Folks gonna be like, "Yeah, I remember he was saying something about that." They're gonna see how ugly it looks this week. And they're going to be looking at drip, but drip is going to be in the news. They're going to talk about that one. Oh, it's a big one. It's a bigger ETF. A lot of people know about it already. So on CNBC, as the oil starts diving again, drip is going to be one of them that they talk about.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get a position Monday
Hey,
with my profits.
not a bad move. Why avoid the rush?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I'll wait.
Why wait? But all right. Thank you, bro. I'm
All right.
signing off.
Peace.
Peace.